Get on Lamar. Take it into Mississippi. The first exit's Craft Road. Turn left and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
Welcome to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston. Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane. Here are Peter and Anthony with Sports 56 Mornings.
That's right. That's right. That's right. What's up, everybody? Welcome into an all-new edition of Sports 56 Mornings. That's right. It's all new. We have no idea.
Never seen nor heard before.
We have no idea what's going to happen. And neither do you.
Never.
It's all, that's right, off the dome, baby.
It's about as off the dome as it gets.
We freestyle every single
Literally every
morning.
day. We just show up and just do a show.
That's right. Whatever's happening, whatever's going on, whatever needs to be discussed, that's what we're here to do. We're here to discuss that with each and every one of you. Welcome in. My name is, of course, Peter Edmiston. You knew that. You also know the name of my partner, the one and only Anthony Sane, a.k.a. Anthony Sane. And, of course, you have our good friend Zach, a.k.a. Zach, a.k.a. the Viceroy of Bok Choy, a.k.a. the Marquis de Broccoli, a.k.a. Moses Alone. Welcome in.
I forgot about that.
Moses Alone.
Moses Alone.
Yeah.
Forgot about that joint.
Oh, man. Welcome in. Good morning, Zach. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. How about you guys?
Good, man.
I'm great.
That's good.
Thanks for asking.
Well, actually,
appreciate it.
Well, actually, I was fantastic last night, man.
Okay.
That was
Okay.
Boy.
Okay.
I'm feeling great.
All right. Okay.
Now thinking about it, I'm great. I'm feeling great.
Tell
Wait a minute, Zach. You sound like a man that may have done some things for the first time last night.
No, this sounds very exciting.
No.
Explain.
Did he have to pause for a minute?
No, because
He's like, wait.
Maybe it is something that's questionable, that's borderline, like, you know.
Wait a second. Ooh, okay.
Not at all. But I'm feeling great.
Good. So that's all
Is there any
about.
particular reason why? Are you waiting for us to? I'm just
I'm just gonna let you guys bring it up because I think
You've already
are
brought
aware.
it up. So
No, I haven't said anything.
I know.
I haven't said anything, but I think you guys are aware of what happened.
So I had to check the logo. I had to check the national news real fast.
God. Oh boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was just about you personally instead of your trash team.
Oh no.
Okay.
No.
All right.
That's not until Sunday.
We'll we'll talk. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about your quarterback getting paid, getting and very much getting paid, winning the battle with Jerry Jones, and making some serious money. Boy. Oh, Cowboys. Anyway, we'll discuss that. Also, a lot of other NFL news because teams are really dealing with a tough salary cap situation. It's reminiscent of the NBA's salary cap situation when instead of going up, the cap stays flat or goes down, then you have some serious issues that have to be taken care of. Same thing with the NFL. There's a lot of guys that are getting cut, moved, restructured, changed to deal with that. We'll talk about all of that. The Grizzlies back in action tomorrow night, which means they are back at practice today. Late practice, as a matter of fact, because they have to deal with all the testing and all the stuff from COVID. Their practice schedules have been all over the place because of COVID testing and everything else that they have to do, all the different protocols that have to be done. So they won't be practicing until later on this afternoon/evening. But you'll also have the anticipated release of the injury report coming up later on as well. We could feel free to speculate about all of that. Les Miles is out at Kansas. He was suspended. Now he is just flat out. We'll talk about that and his situation. College basketball, Greg McDermott is back because of what he said. He's back. We'll talk about that. Papa John and his struggle to get racial slurs out of his vocabulary.
Today's show is all about saying and doing dumb stuff.
That's right. That is right. Or trying not to say it and just having a real tough time. But
are we gonna throw some prince and princess talking? We gonna throw some? It's just
sure.
It's just
absolutely.
Everything that involves saying dumb stuff.
Megan, you talking about Meghan and Harry? You talking about and Oprah and then the whole thing?
Sure. Yeah, I didn't watch it. Maybe you can carry it, and I'll just
I watched a little. I mean, I watched a little bit of it. I'm not a royal person, but I like Harry and Meghan. Meghan especially. She seems great.
I got to meditate for a minute. I don't want this conversation to go where it may possibly go. So.
Which one? The Royals?
Yeah.
Can only be royal.
Let's get black in your blood.
I'm not gonna talk about. We're not gonna talk about that right now. So
no, we'll get on that later on, man.
We can get on that.
Or not
at some point in time.
We'll just not talk about it at all. We can do that too.
We'll see where things go. Normally we talk to Coach JJ today. We can't. Jermaine Johnson. They've got stuff going on. We'll talk to Coach JJ tomorrow. Mm-hmm. In preparation for the Tigers beginning the attempt to make it in to the NCAA tournament. They're going to need to win to be sure to get in. And that means they got to win their quarterfinal matchup, which is coming up on Friday evening. It's the late game on Friday night. Tip-off scheduled for 9 o'clock, but usually that means it's more like 9:15, 9:30, so a really, really late game for the Tigers against the winner of UCF and East Carolina. I don't know. It's gonna be late, but that happens sometimes. Yeah. This week is tournament week in the conferences, which means you will see tons of games, and many of them tipping off at weird times, and that's just kind of how it's going to go. So I have to expect that will be the case. Now, if you want to join us to talk about any and all of this, I welcome your discussion. I welcome your contribution. Please join us via text at 70236. 70236. That's how you get in touch with us via the First Bank text line now. It's a new number. So for those of you that have saved it as a contact, make sure you edit your contact. If you've already joined the text team, then you don't have to rejoin or anything like that. It's all good. You're in good shape. You just have to change that number, 70236. If you've never texted us before and you just feel compelled, the spirit moves you to go ahead and text us, hey, great. But you have to simply text 56JOIN to 70236. Do it one time. And then you're locked and loaded, and you don't have to do it again. And you can just comment or save us the contact and text us whenever you want. You can also dial up on the First Bank phone lines, 360-8255. Talked to a lot of folks yesterday. 901-360-8255 if you want to get in touch with us via the First Bank phone lines. You can. You can also chat with us as well, like Booty Snorkeler and other great luminaries of the chat. You can hit us up on the First Bank chat line. There's no at anything because it's just like whatever you're watching us on, like Facebook and all that. Mm-hmm. There's a little chat option, and you just type and go clickety clickety clack, and then hit the enter button, and there it is. You've done it. You've joined the First Bank chat team. There it is. Now, all of that being said, as I mentioned, we got a busy show today, and this rest of this week's gonna be really, really busy. But I guess today, Zach, if you want to go ahead and I don't know how you want to feel about this. Do you celebrate? Are you excited? I mean, your quarterback is back. He's going to make 100. Dak Prescott has signed a multi-year contract with the Dallas Cowboys after years of negotiation and years of discussion and franchise tags and back and forth and all of that stuff. Finally, Dak Prescott has signed the deal. $160 million total, but you know the NFL, it's all about guaranteed contract. Well, the guarantee is $126 million, including a $66 million signing bonus. So right out of the gate, he gets $66 million up front.
You excited about that, sir?
That ain't too bad.
It's my team. It's my quarterback.
That's my quarterback, man.
I would have been more excited for you if you told me you fornicated last night, Zach. That's where I thought you were going.
No.
That's where I really thought you were going, man.
No.
Lord.
You're super excited about signing Dak Prescott?
Yes.
Y'all gonna be a playoff team next year?
We better be with this trash division that we got to play in.
Y'all were trash before you got hurt, though.
Yeah. He won the trash division. You couldn't even win the trash division last year.
You weren't leading the division when you had him last year.
You weren't. Yeah,
we were. We were. we was.
Y'all were too, though. Yeah, y'all were at like 1-3 or something.
Yeah, it was like 2-3. We was like about to hit our stride, and then that's when he got hurt. So,
hey, I'm not saying y'all could go out there and get nobody better. I mean, I flew with Dak. Y'all. I mean, it was a needed decision, but I don't understand. Super excited about it, though.
Well, because he got his money. And that was the biggest thing. Like, one, you're like, yeah, he's on the team. That's great.
You're glad he got paid.
But I'm happy that he got paid.
I can't knock you for that though.
Because I had to sit here, and like having to talk to other people talking about like Dak doesn't deserve $40 million when I had to watch Jared Goff and Carson Wentz just stink up the joint. And by the way, Dak Prescott is the only quarterback since 2016 to not move to a different team, either sign or traded to a different team. He is the only quarterback since 2016.
Well, I don't think there's any question that he did a. I mean, he was very smart about the way that he did it. He kept believing in himself. He didn't sign a worse contract. He didn't give in to the pressure to sign a longer-term deal. He kept trying to apply the pressure that he had to Jerry Jones, and eventually, I think to me, this was a. You could make the argument that this is a as good or better deal in its own way than Patrick Mahomes. I mean, Patrick Mahomes signed a much longer, much more lucrative deal, but
right.
In terms of your flexibility. I mean, the man's getting $75 million for the first year because of the salary plus signing bonus.
That's how you
$66 million signing bonus. Like, you get a $75 million check basically, right out of the gate. That's pretty good, man. I don't know. I mean, I'm not an investment wizard, but I feel like you could take $75 million and do some things with it.
Yeah.
Investment wise, it probably will turn that into more than $75 million. And you still got, theoretically another 90 or so to go. But even if only 126 is guaranteed for 4, that's a lot. And that's, as we said, Mahomes was like 450 or something crazy. But it's extended out over longer. Plus, he's got no trade situation. He can't be tagged, can't be traded.
Nope.
And so that's a real. He's got the stroke here, and everyone's, as much as I like to bust on the Cowboys, and believe me, I will continue to mock and make fun of the Cowboys at all opportunities. Dak Prescott seems like a very good dude. Everyone seems to like Dak Prescott. His teammates, ex-teammates, everyone around the NFL seem to be excited for him. So. That tells you something. Yep. It seems like he's a good dude. It's a shame that he's a Cowboy.
When we saw him go down with that injury, we all were like, crap. It sucks for him. He was about to get paid, but he ended up getting paid regardless. So.
He got paid regardless. So congratulations to him. Now the pressure's on. Now you got to win the Super Bowl.
I love it.
I love it. That's what it is.
I love it.
You got to win the Super Bowl.
30 years of pressure.
I love
it. Yep, you got to win the Super Bowl, and they got to build a team, and they're not going to be able to do it. And that's a sad thing. So Cowboys aren't going to make the playoffs.
Coming to America, the thing for in theaters last time.
They got enough money to get the job done. It's just making sure you get the right players. That's the whole talent evaluation.
Yeah, done by the owner.
Yeah, how good have the Cowboys been at that? Yeah,
they've been pretty good at evaluating talent and drafting really well. It's just this past season wasn't too good.
One day, you guys are gonna admit that letting Jerry Jones pick players is the worst thing ever.
Yeah,
That's
or
the
his
problem with you
son,
guys.
or his son Steven. You know,
Look,
Steven's in there in the mix.
There's nothing we can do about it. There is nothing we can do unless
No,
they say
that
something.
I can say. You know, the Washington team and the all these teams can sympathize and empathize about having a bad owner. Although Jerry's not so much a bad owner because he does care and he does pay and all that, as he is just a meddlesome, meddling over. He's like an overprotective parent, and he just can't get it right because he just keeps getting in the kid's way, and he just keeps trying to stop the kid from doing anything. And that's him. He's obviously an owner who's willing to spend, and that's good. And he's an owner that's willing to do stuff for his team. That's good. People seem to like playing for him. That's good. More than I could say for my owner, who's terrible. Or governor. Should I say governor? My governor.
The governor.
The governor of the Washington football team is
So ridiculous.
terrible all the way around. So, but at least he cares. At least he's willing to spend. He just does it all wrong and continue to do it all wrong.
Like the
So
whole,
excited.
like
Dak
the whole,
back in the fold.
like what he's what
126 million. That's a deal to me.
what was the phrase where he said he's like
Got
the
that
chicken
in
and the goat
I
or
got that
something
in the
like
couch cushions. Yeah, that's right. One sunrise day, I woke up and the goats were bleeping the chickens. That's what I knew that was a big day. What? What was that?
The goats and the chickens.
The story we told it was a story he told about the other story about the man. The educated man is a man who cuts his arm off. He's in a trap, and he doesn't just sit there and bleed out. That's educated. He told that story one time too. I was like, what does that mean?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Look,
The Cowboys were the man who had an arm caught in a trap, and I'm not sure exactly what that situation was. In any event, congratulations. It's going to make it all the more disappointing when it doesn't happen and they fail yet again. But
we'll see. Because I smell vengeance
Sam, be quiet,
coming
Sam.
from Dak Prescott.
You know that's not happening.
I smell vengeance.
You smell poop.
No. Vengeance.
You smell 8 and 8.
yeah, I don't.
9 and
You smell
7.
mediocrity.
Yeah.
Mediocrity is.
No. It's
If
coming.
you smell
It's coming.
what the Dak is cooking. What's Dak short for?
This ain't. I don't know.
Dakota, first of all, but also,
Yeah.
but it's also me Dak Oker.
Me, Dak Okra.
That's him.
We're happy
That's
for
him.
you, though,
He's-
Zach, because it beats the alternative.
Yeah.
Y'all could be out here.
I'm happy because you're happy, Zach.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I'm happy that
Yeah.
you're. I didn't think you'd be this happy. But,
He's my quarter. Like again, like
Is he? I mean, I feel like he's paying you. I wouldn't
no,
be that
I
happy
wish
unless he was actually
like,
sending
put me
a
on
check.
your payroll, man. Like I
Stop it.
Send me a cut.
put me,
I'll take it.
Put me on your payroll. Because I think he got slandered too much for being a fourth round guy, and everybody was just picking apart his game.
I wanted to
unnecessarily.
take Paxton Lynch.
Yeah, I mean, I was for Paxton Lynch too, but it was like, I stick with Dak. I'm cool with Dak.
Well,
So
you're cool with Dak, and he's cool with you.
Yeah.
But you need to get some money though.
yeah,
Out of that whole deal.
I gotta
That's
go
all I can
talk
say.
to his people.
Yeah, you need to do that for sure. All right, so when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the coaching controversies, including Les Miles out at Kansas. Also, got to get into Papa John. We'll do that and things that you because that Greg McDermott, things you say, things you do, maybe regrettable. Let's just say we'll talk about all of that as we continue on this Tuesday edition. Let me try that again. Soft Rock Tuesday. Woo! It's up late last night. Gotta take it off. Let's try that again. Just take that from the top, okay? Let's This isn't live, is it? So we can just re-edit.
No,
that.
I think
Edit that.
you're good.
Edit that part out, okay? Just edit that part out. And just okay. Now here's 3, 2. This is for the podcast. 3, 2, 1. On that Tuesday edition of the show, I definitely got that right. 360-8255. You want to join us here from the Family Leisure Studios, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1.
Get your fill of sports for lunch every weekday on Sports 56 Middays with Greg and Eli. The latest sports talk, sought after guests, your calls and texts, prize giveaways, and more every weekday from 10 to 1 on Sports 56.
They've raised the bar again at Homer Skelton Hyundai and Genesis of Olive Branch. I like to say this is the new standard, the way car business should be done. And to prove it, out of 355 dealers in America that sell Genesis cars, the one in Olive Branch, Genesis of Olive Branch, was top 50 in the country, top 10 in the region, and number 2 in the district. And guess what? They want to be number 1. That means there are opportunities out there for you. It's the safest, and every new latest bit of technology that makes the experience of driving a car better, they've got it at Genesis of Olive Branch. If we start with the G70, the highest performing car I've ever owned, all the way to the G80 or the G90, the biggest of the sedans, you'll love everything about the car. If you would like to try the new SUV, the GV80, you call Vinny Gerard at 662-890-6684. He will bring it out to you. The fun continues at Family Leisure with a brand new Factory Direct pool and patio sale. The new 2021 inventory is in. You got to get ready now and beat the rush. Become the first one to have your pool installed. They have spas in stock, and those are ready for installation right now, too. Complete your backyard with a new set of patio furniture, all state-of-the-art. Special financing available. Family Leisure, I-40 and Whidden Road, where family and fun come together.
Make your next grill your last with Big Green Egg. Smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all with a lifetime warranty. Ceramic will not rust, but will provide the best radiant heat, keeping your food crisp on the outside and juicy on the inside. Step your flavor up with 100% natural lumpwood charcoal. Never have to add charcoal or wood during a cook again, and save money by reusing Big Green Egg lumpwood charcoal. Enjoy the versatility of keeping cook temperatures below 200 or above 700 for searing, and anywhere in between with ease. The Big Green Egg is ready to cook in only 10 to 15 minutes. Just ask Big Green Egg users how great the food is. Satisfaction has been our recipe for success since 1974, and our customers are our biggest testament. Come taste the difference with Big Green Egg and make your next grill your last. Available at East Memphis Ace at the corner of South White Station Road and Quince Road.
2 chocolate chip muffins coming in. Thank you.
Indeed knows unexpected growth can stretch your business thin.
Hey, can someone get that?
Like at Claire's Cafe. To satisfy demand for takeout, she needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
2021 is finally here. Might I suggest we start the wonderful new year with a makeover for your beautiful house. I'm Brian Elder. I'm a roofer. I fix roofs. Don't let them tell you that it has to be replaced when all it may need is some love. 867-0303. Let me love on your roof. I've made quite the reputation over the last decade as the guy to call after the insurance company denies the claim. Overturning a claim that has gone bad is an art form where you argue county code, manufacturer specs, and details of your policy that they have to abide by. So let me see it first. If I say it's a claim, it's a claim. 867-0303. Money is free at Brian Elder Roofing with 0% financing for half a decade. I'll measure your roof from outer space and get you a quote right over the phone. 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Sports 56 traffic.
So dealing with the accident on Strathmore Circle at East Parkway. Also dealing with the accident on Canada Road near Highway 64. an accident on Austin P Highway at Rosemark Road. And that is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Are you telling me the things
Come on.
The Papa Saint.
Come on.
The Blue Eyes.
Come on. Taking it to the streets. You might hear this on 107.5. You very well might.
Oh, yeah, Peter, I know we're setting up today is going to be the saying and doing dumb stuff, so got to make sure we add Pepe Le Pew to that conversation.
Yes. What's on my list? It's on my list.
Make sure we add Pepe Le Pew, man. Yeah,
it's on my list. I got a few other. I got a few.
Come on, Pepe Le Pew. It's 2021, man. Come on, man.
We got some. We got some situations going on. We'll talk. We'll talk about that coming up here. Now, let's get to some of that dumb stuff. As a matter of fact, I don't know if this qualifies as dumb stuff or not. Blake Griffin, officially a Brooklyn Net. You think that makes the Nets? The Nets are now technically the title favorites. You know that. They're now the favorites over the Lakers.
Who saw that coming?
You sound like Shaq there. Who saw that coming?
Just saying.
Right. I said it.
Some things I don't overthink, bro. Like some stuff I just don't overthink. I'm still not gonna say they're gonna win, but and it ain't got nothing to do with Blake. Me saying that they're definitely going to the finals has nothing to do with Blake Griffin being there.
Do you think Blake Griffin makes a huge difference?
No.
Does he make any difference?
Possibly. I mean, he'll get rebounds. He's a huge decoy.
Really? I don't think he's gonna get any rebounds. I don't see him getting too many rebounds, but maybe.
He's a decoy. Teams will play him like he's still Blake Griffin.
He can shoot. He has made some wide open shots this year, so that's good. His athleticism is completely shot. People are going to find out just how washed he really is. I mean, he is washed. Mm-hmm. But he has no spring left in those. But he took a buyout. He gave back $13 million in his buyout. But that means he's going to get cut that check for $61 million of his remaining money, which ain't too bad.
Get the bag.
And,
when you do a buyout, does that they cut you that money right now on the spot?
Yeah, because you're not. I mean, I guess that depends on the negotiation. I take that back. It depends. You can negotiate the payment plan and all that. I'm sure that's negotiated, but technically at that point they owe you that money because they're releasing you from that contract. So that contract is no longer in existence, and you are compensated for breaking that contract, and that's what the buyout is. So you're just paying it all at that point. And then I'm sure they've got some kind of a plan in place. Like, well, I mean, there are all kinds of weird stuff that are in contracts. Like a lot of teams, one of the fun little details sometimes that people don't really know about is payment schedules on contracts, depending on. There's normal payment schedules, but there's also been schedules in the NBA, especially with restricted free agents, where they will demand. I forget who it was. Somebody had it all. He had to be paid 100% of his yearly salary up front in one check on a certain date. And it was like he had to cut like a $35 million check on that. Well, then it was in his contract. That's how he got paid. Not weekly, not bi-weekly, not monthly. Like, you cut me one check on this date, and that's it. And so
that's boss. But Zach Randolph had the most boss payment arrangement ever.
Well, a lot of Zach's arrangements were pretty boss. I mean, that was Zebo had some.
Yeah, that Portland contract, he was still getting that Portland money in Memphis.
Yeah. I still to this, and then we talk about Bobby Bonilla's deal where he's still getting paid $1.1 million every 30 years. He got after he retired, he's still getting paid. I'll never forget Zach Randolph. Still the only player I've ever seen to this day who did his own tickets in the locker room, who had to arrange his own tickets in his own specific envelopes every single game. Wildest thing I ever saw. Zach looking at the kind of ticket.
He was doing what now?
So before every game, or at least the ones I ever walked, whenever I walked in the locker room before the game to talk, I would always see Zach sitting on the bench, or sitting in his locker, and he'd have his phone, famous multiple phone situation happening.
Yeah.
And he would have a stack of tickets and a stack of envelopes, and he would be putting the tickets in the envelopes, and specific tickets were going to specific envelopes. For whatever reason.
Yeah, you can't be having so and so sitting by so and so, man.
That's what I say. I think so and so.
Sounds like you hate on Zach, you put the man business out there now, man. Come on, man.
That's not. There's no business. He's doing.
Nah,
it.
See, you just see Zach. See, he don't know the games. I'll break it down to you, Peter. I'll break it down during the break. I'll break it down. Off the air. So you putting 50 business out there now, man. So you see.
No, you don't have to do that. If 50's business didn't need to be out there, we already talked about this many times. But it's one of the things. And I think it's more.
You can't leave that kind of stuff up to.
I think it's actually less about that, what you're thinking it is, and more just about he's very the guy. There's certain things he wants taken care of. He's a hands-on dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's a hands-on.
You can't leave that type of stuff to the Zachs of the world. Like, hey, Zach, here are my tickets, man. Disperse these amongst my people.
You you can't. No.
To
no, you got to make sure the job is done.
Yeah, exactly.
The job is done properly. There's a certain situation that need to be taken care of, and he's famous for it. It's tremendous.
I got a question.
He makes a show of it. He did when he came here. First time he came here with Sacramento. I mean, he was holding court. There were like 15 people around him, and he's taking his tickets, and it was a whole thing. It was fantastic.
All right, let me throw this out to you. Yeah, you said something that made me think about something. They always have media availability. Well, in the old world, they always had pregame media availability in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been to that, and I never understood why. Because I'm not talking to these dudes right before they get on the court. Like, why? Like, who actually did that, and what? Like, did you do that? Like,
sometimes. I mean, it depends on what I was working on, or what I needed to find out. But the thing is that those guys can all choose to be in there or not. That's the thing about that makes it good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when you walk in there, the locker room, typically at that point they're showing like a scout. They've got like scout tape on for whatever they're working on for that team that they're playing tonight. And there might be nobody in there for that 30-minute window of availability, or there might be several guys. But usually the veterans would come in and they would know, everyone kind of knows how it works, and sometimes younger guys would come in, and you would just use that opportunity to talk to them and just say hello and say hi and what's going on and introduce yourself and just kind of have establish a relationship, see how things were, talk about this, that, and the other. Sometimes it would be like an official, like I needed to talk about a particular story or a particular thing I was working on. Sometimes it would just be, hey, how are you guys doing on this? How you feeling about this? Sometimes it's about, not basketball at all. But it was a good
time to build a personal relationship with the guys.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I always thought, because it's not as many people.
Is that how the Marcus Peter Edmondson buddyship? Is that how that came to be?
No, it's not. But Mark was never in there at that time. Well, not never, but not very much. Some guys were always in there. Some guys always like to shoot the breeze. You got some people that just like when any workplace. Some people like to small talk and goof around, and some people don't. And that's the thing about that. It's not like they're mandated to be there. It's you could choose. They can choose to be in that environment or not. It's up to them. So if they are in the locker room at that time, then it's fair. It's fair game to talk to them and whatever. But increasingly now, there's plenty of chance for them to be in some other part of the locker room where they don't, if they don't want to. And some guys never wanted to be part of it. But that's where you can talk to Solomon Hill about this, that, and the other, or guys like that are just good dudes and just hanging out. And it's a good way to build rapport. That's one of the things that's sadly missing in this Zoom era. It's just you can't. There's no chance.
They have no clue who they're talking to.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know the difference. They just don't know. You don't establish a relationship with players, which means that you don't really. I don't know. It just there are things that you might learn that can help make your stories more. You can understand a little more about the player, where the player's coming from. But that's kind of gone now. So and honestly, we've talked about this, but I don't know if we're ever going back. I saw the CDC yesterday, clarified their situation, and if you are fully vaccinated, they say you can. Obviously, it's fine to hang out with other fully vaccinated people. Do whatever you want to do because y'all are cool. But even within that fully vaccinated, it's okay to hang out with unvaccinated people without masks inside as long as they come from they say from one household and have no other risk factors that they're dealing with. So that's a huge step from the CDC.
Yep.
And that means we're getting closer and closer to being back to quote unquote normal. And even when we go back to normal, saying I just don't think that's ever going to be. I don't think that's ever going to come back. I think the teams are too paranoid about that stuff now.
Yep.
I think they really want to limit the relationships that players have with media members.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They want to control the narrative as much as they can. So I don't know. I don't know if that's ever going to come back.
In 2021. Thinking back on media scrums, that seems like the most. It's like the biggest. Oh my God! Imagine if they kept that going. Because remember they stopped us from doing that before the NBA shut down. So imagine how it would be if because in the scrum, man, sometimes you're literally face to face with a guy with your arms reached across each other, like you're
yeah.
And I'm talking into your face like with my hand stretched out this way.
Oh yeah, no, you're on top of somebody. I mean, you are like smushed together in this small space. We've seen seen scrums, and if you're in like, the worst ones are on the visiting locker room side with at the FedEx Forum.
Oh
if
yeah,
you ever have like
nuts.
a major like you got no room for anything. You're just squeezed in there. It's crazy. And they've had to move it out to like the bigger hall. Even then, it's still tight. But sometimes in the small hall, they'll have somebody. And it's oh my God, like you can't. You're breathing everyone's breath and
I can tell you in the city of Memphis, who's some mildew smelling.
Oh
man,
some nasty.
I could crush your dreams about some of your favorite media members as far as smelling like mildew and crap.
Yeah,
there's some. You don't get your funky tail about this locker room.
Why they gotta mildew?
I'll name some off there.
No,
some of your heroes. Hey, bro, you need to watch that. What you got on, fam?
Yeah. Oh, it's a bad situation.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's some breath issues. As well
boy, hey, how long we got? Man,
I feel. Yeah. And anyway, so that I don't know that I'm not gonna miss that part of it.
Yeah.
But the other stuff is important.
Like you said, the injury reports come out today. We got to talk about that as well. But
we're gonna talk about that.
It's coming.
We're gonna talk about that because it might be one of the more anticipated injury reports
in the history of injury reports.
It could be
only because the Grizzlies are so weird.
Right. I don't know what they're waiting. I just don't know what they're waiting for. I mean, I guess I saw our pal Chris Harrington writing about and he said he theorized that the Grizzlies might buy themselves a little credibility with the way that Justice Winslow has come back so effectively. So maybe that takes some of the heat off of the very slow return of Jaren Jackson.
Jaren ain't playing,
do you think that's the case?
It's gonna be 2 more weeks.
That's just I don't get it, man.
I'm telling you, no intel, but I'm telling you.
Okay.
I think if Jaren was playing, we would see something. We would see something from Jaren. We would see something from the team. Some teasing. They wouldn't just. And then they said he'll be back after the break. Nothing about that meant game 1. You know, I want to see. I'm ready to see Jaren right now. I'm ODing on Jaren Jackson Jr. bubble highlights.
I know. I hope you're wrong. I fear you're not.
I think that what Harrington is saying is true. I think that the fact, hey, we set Justice out all this time, and look at him now. He's fine. Mm-hmm. And I think they're just going to buy some more time.
Yeah.
Free Jaren Jackson Jr., man.
I know. I want to see it. I want to see him. I think he's perfectly fine to play. I mean, again, no major intel on that other than just things I hear. But it seems to me like he's ready to play, and he really wants to play. I want him to play, so I'm disappointed if it doesn't happen soon. Maybe not tomorrow, but man, I would really like it to be tomorrow. When we come back, we will talk about some of the dumber things. There's some, as you mentioned, today's a show where there's a lot of dumb stuff that we're going to talk about, from coaches, from restaurant owners, from former restaurant owners, from TV personalities, you name it. We got a lot of that from media conglomerates. I mean, our cup runneth over of.
It's a good week to say dumb stuff this week.
To say and do dumb things.
Why not?
We'll do that as we continue here. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ. Listen to us daily on AM 560, 98.5 FM, and 96.1 FM.
If you're going on vacation, making a college campus visit, or if business takes you out of town, there's just no better place to board your dog than Barks and Recreation, 965 Reddick Cove between Bud Davis Cadillac and the Blue Plate Cafe in East Memphis. Boarding, daycare, grooming, we have the best of everything at Barks. Indoor-outdoor kennels so your family member can go in and out as they please. Indoor and outdoor play areas. 4 walks a day. Group play and individual attention from the best staff in the Mid-South, which includes an overnight staff to ensure the safety and comfort of your pet 24 hours a day. All reasons to choose Barks and Recreation above all other boarding and daycare facilities. BarksDaycare.com or 509-0909. Check us out and make your reservations now at BarksDaycare.com. If your dog could speak, he'd say Barks.
I'm Kelly Erb with Marks Bensdorf Realtors, and I just had to ask, Sheldon, did you really just buy a set of golf clubs and you never tried them out?
Yep, that's right.
And Sheldon, didn't you tell me whenever you buy a car, you never test drive it?
Again? Yep.
Don't you think that's pretty bizarre since you always tell people to talk to 2 or 3 agents when they sell their home?
Yes, it is. I'm Sheldon Rosengarten, and I'm also with Marks Bensdorf Realtors with Kelly. It's funny, we tell people that you should always talk to more than one agent to find out not only what they think about your home, but more importantly, what they will do for you. And you really need to make sure and include us in the interview process.
I agree, because how are you going to find out about our strategic marketing program with the Shellbucks option? And as people often say, when you want the job done, call Sheldon.
That's Sheldon Rosengarten and Kelly Erb. Call or email us at memphisrelocate.com or 682-1868. Do it now, 682-1868 or memphisrelocate.com.
I'm here with the great Pat Donahue from the Rendezvous Restaurant Shipping Department.
Thanks, Brett. We've been shipping our ribs all over the country now for decades from our USDA-inspected shipping kitchen in the Pinch District. We hand-cook our ribs in pits that Mr. Charlie built over charcoal, just like they do at the restaurant.
So what comes in a rib box?
We could do pork shoulder, we could do ribs, our sauce, seasoning, baked beans, coleslaw. We'll even throw in Pancho's cheese dip with our nacho boxes. We also put a bag of Rendezvous seasoned popcorn, heating instructions, some chef hats, some wet naps, and some other helpful tips from our kitchen. We ship our ribs overnight, exclusively FedEx. And we put them in nice packaging. We don't ever want to use styrofoam, so we use corrugated cardboard, actually 2 boxes that fit nice together. So the ribs get to you, your loved ones, or your clients in a safe, wholesome manner. Rendezvous ribs are perfect for out-of-town clients, customers, loved ones. We also ship ribs for any occasion.
Where do we order these great ribs?
You can go to www.hogsfly.com or give us a call at 1-888-464-7359.
Charlie Burgos' Rendezvous Restaurant in the alley since 1948.
You've probably seen him, heard about him, passed him while he was working, but you never thought you'd need him until you do. And when you do, you really need Papa Lock of Memphis. Papa Lock of Memphis is all about locks and keys and more. Lose your car key? Papa Lock can make new ones. Moving. Don't take the key you're handed. Lots of other folks have been handed that same key. Papa Lock will re-key your home so you're safe. Need more than a new key? Papa Lock is expert at installing access control so you know who and when there is entry of your home, office, warehouse, and more. Multiple properties? Let Papa Lock of Memphis set up a master key system for you. Call 901-527-6737. That's 901-527-OPEN. Papa Lock of Memphis, your trusted locksmith.
Hi, I'm Hayden Moore, General Manager of the all-new Wolf Chase Hyundai. Don't miss the Hyundai Spring Upgrade Sales Event. For the first time ever, get 0% APR for 60 months on new 2021 Palisades. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. Drive with Hyundai Assurance, America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Visit wolfchasehyundai.com with approved credit, $1,667 for every $1,000 finance. Example down payment 10%. Down payment will vary based on credit rating. Payments deferred. Offer ends 4/12/21.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Zane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
It's hard for me to say I'm sorry. Oh! I just want you to stay.
You all right over there, Zach? You okay, buddy? Could be another beautiful day tonight. The high near 70. Oh, all right. So, let's get to the coaching dumbness. Number one, quickly, the Creighton head coach, Greg McDermott, is back in the mix, baby. After his comment about players needing both feet in and needing everyone to stay on the plantation. I can't have anybody leave the plantation, he said.
Stupid.
Quite a quite a comment.
Bro. It's like
quite a comment right there. But there you go. Said the athletic director said it was an egregious analogy and said it had absolutely no place in our society. McDermott will participate in a program next month with the Racial Equality Institute.
Oh, I love those.
What is the
programs.
Racial Equality Institute? Now that I see that, what is that? It's from Greensboro, North Carolina. We are an alliance of trainers, organizers, and institutional leaders who have devoted ourselves to the work of creating racially equitable organizations and systems.
Who are the board of directors?
Let's see. Okay, so about them. Let's just take our team. All right, let's see who the team is. Dina Hayes Green.
She black or white?
Suzanne. She appears to be black.
Okay.
Suzanne.
White.
I understand her last name. White. Amy Bertain. White. Barbara Cheeves. Black. Bay Love. That is quite a name for this gentleman, and he is white. Dr. Blaze Amendalace, I'm gonna say white. That could be an either way situation there. Catherine Netter, Captain Craig Davis, Dominic Hand, Deborah Stroman, all of them appear to be black. So it's I would say a
5 to 4. I did a quick
a mix. Well, there's a lot more actually. So but I would say as I go through the entire mix here, and there are truly. I mean, it's probably 50.
Oh, no, we're not going through all
including some real strange-looking folks. One guy in particular, I'm not sure what's going on with him. It looks like about half and half situation. So, so there you go. So okay. McDermott may tip the scales to the white side. Anyway, Blue Jays star guard Marcus Zagorowski said a lot of the guys in the locker room were hurting from it. I was hurting from what he said. At the same time, Coach Mack has been a huge mentor for me, and I know he would take a bullet for me and everyone in that locker room. I know he's made a really bad mistake with what he said. Only I know everything he's done for me as a player, but more importantly as a human being. That's my coach. I love that dude. People make mistakes, and that's my guy. So that's nice to hear from that guy. So hopefully dealing with the Racial Equality Institute can help him realize that it's not a good idea to stay on the plantation to some largely black group of players.
No.
That's just a good lesson for everybody out there, ladies and gentlemen. Les Miles out at Kansas after being placed on administrative leave amid accusations of inappropriate behavior toward female students during his time at LSU, including some pretty unsavory stuff about being super creepy. being real weird and pervy and having to be kept away from other students, asking for female students and blondes with big boobs, I believe is what he specifically wanted in his, in his team advisor or whatever, the spirit team, whatever they call them at LSU. Jeff Long, who's the athletic director at Kansas, formerly at Arkansas, said, I'm extremely disappointed for our university fans and everyone involved with our football program. There's a lot of young talent on this football team, and I have no doubt we will identify the right individual to lead this program. He says, there's no doubt we need to win games, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Nowhere in his statement did he mention anything about inappropriate behavior or hiring someone with inappropriate behavior, or why he didn't maybe not hire Les Miles, or what the thought was there. Jeff Long should not have a job at this point. There's no reason why you fire Les Miles and you don't also fire Jeff Long. There's no reason this guy should be allowed to make a choice again for Kansas, considering how badly he botched this whole situation. The David Beatty, who was the former coach, if you recall, they tried to fire him for cause to save $3 million that they owed him. Ended up having to pay 2.3 or whatever in the settlement. But it was widely regarded around the football industry as a very bad look for Kansas trying to squeeze their way out of a firing that it was not for cause at all. Not in that situation. Now he hires Les Miles, who has a massive, massive problem when they brought him in. And not only did Les Miles, bring all that baggage, he also was terrible as a coach. Kansas this year, 0-9, losing by 1 million every time out, has not shown any sign whatsoever of being any good at this. How can you botch coaching hires? If you've watched Kansas and how badly they have done this, their coaching situation, oh my God, they have a winning percentage below 200 in the 2010s. A miserable, miserable team. Miserable failures up and down the list. How is Jeff Long still having a job? I don't get that at all.
We'll talk about that, but I think before we do that, we have to address probably a bigger issue. I hate when people apologize the way that Les Miles did. Don't just apologize in general. Apologize to people in specific for specific things that you said and did. I think that you need to apologize to brunettes with big boobs. Like that needs to happen immediately. They don't deserve to be singled out like that at all. No, but seriously, man. Like how many stories? How many stories about sickos with power are we going to hear? How many stories about sickos with power are we going to hear, man? Like it used to be maybe one every 2 or 3 years, and then it was you had an annual story like this. Man, how many have we had this year?
Les Miles for his a lot. For his part, Les Miles says, "I've truly enjoyed being the head coach at KU and know that it is a better place now than when I arrived."
And he'll get hired again somewhere.
Really?
He'll get hired. He will get hired again somewhere. That's the sad part about that.
I don't think so. No, I don't think he's not getting hired anywhere. He's 67. He was 3-18 in his 2 seasons in Kansas. He won 1 conference game. Kansas as a program hasn't won more than 3 games in a season since 2009. Think about that for a second. They haven't won more than three games in a season. That's a real low bar.
Yeah.
And they haven't cleared it since 2009. That's 12 years. That's
dudes are sick.
Who would take that job? That's the worst job in America.
Yep.
Other than the fact that you make, a ton of money, great. That otherwise you're in the middle of Lawrence, Kansas. That's in the middle of nowhere. With Mark Mangino might be the greatest coach of all time.
Yeah.
The big man.
That team was actually good.
And he was terrible. I mean, he was a bully and all that. But he got them to the Orange Bowl. I mean, that's one of the great achievements in coaching history.
Mm-hmm.
Getting this program there. Oh my God. Whew. Willie Fritz of Tulane. one of the champions of the all deceptive name team. He's in the mix for the job at KU. The old Dipsy Doodle. When you look at the picture, you're like, oh, that's not what I expected. Lance Leipold at Buffalo. He shouldn't take that job. He's too good for that job. Skip Holtz, Louisiana Tech. That sounds about right. And Jay Norvell at Nevada apparently are in the mix there.
Good.
Don't take that job at Kansas unless you want to basically derail your career growth. And as far as Les Miles goes, I don't think he's getting another gig in coaching, nor should he. And he's got still got a lot more meat on the bone on the old scandal front. I mean, there's plenty more lawsuits and other stuff that he's going to have to face. So I think he is untouchable at this point and should be, based on what we know about all of this stuff. And I agree with you, Anthony, saying I didn't see his apology. I didn't even see his apology.
Yeah, it's terrible, man. It's terrible that we let these type of dudes.
Where did he apologize? I mean, I literally didn't see him. I didn't see his apology.
You won't.
I mean, he's so I don't know if he's even tried to apologize, but
how you sit in the room and say, "Oh, just hire a bunch of blondes with big boobs"? Like, how you? Come on, man.
That's
what in the world, man?
And speaking of the AD, we cannot let him off the hook with the strippers on campus either.
Again, I don't know how you fire Les Miles amid all this stuff, which you should do, and then not fire the AD as well for this pathetic job.
So
I
terrible.
I don't know how you do that. So stupid things are happening all around the world. When we come back, hour number 2, we got plenty more of them. I do mean plenty more of them. We got a bunch that we'll get to coming up. Hour number 2, the dumb stuff segment. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1.
Hey, I heard that you just got a new car.
Yes, I sure did, and I could not believe how simple it was.
Really? Tell me what happened.
I bought my car at Cars Inc. They are family owned, and the choices of cars were the best I've ever seen. They even said they could price match with anyone and help me with whatever financing I needed.
Wow, it does sound like they know what they are doing.
Their family has been in the car business for over 30 years, and they're excited about being in Memphis.
Where are they?
5095 Cummington Way, and their phone number is 901-623-7180.
There's an institution in East Memphis that I love talking about. It's the Spirit Shop at 4848 Poplar Avenue, right down the street from Clark Tower, and it looks like a log cabin. It's been around Memphis since 1969 with a family-owned, friendly, knowledgeable sales staff that is just a wonderful place to go. I love going in and talking wine or bourbons, and they've got such great selection. So if you've not visited the Spirit Shop in a while, it's been remodeled. You'll love what you see when you need spirits. Tell Eddie Wollo said hello.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
The thing about the Name Your Price tool from Progressive is that by now you've heard a lot of ads about the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. We probably don't even need the words, the Name Your Price tool, to tell you that our Humpback Whale Pup gives you options based on your budget, or that our novelty hand buzzer helps you save on car insurance. And that's the thing about the tiny felt bag filled with marbles. At this point, you've heard a lot of ads about the elusive northern bobcat. The Name Your Price tool, the neighbor who baked you banana bread, only from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
They've raised the bar again at Homer Skelton Hyundai and Genesis of Olive Branch. I like to say this is the new standard, the way car business should be done. And to prove it, out of 355 dealers in America that sell Genesis cars, the one in Olive Branch, Genesis of Olive Branch, was top 50 in the country, top 10 in the region, and number 2 in the district. And guess what? They want to be number 1. That means there are opportunities out there for you. It's the safest, and every new latest bit of technology that makes the experience of driving a car better, they've got it at Genesis of Olive Branch. If we start with the G70, the highest performing car I've ever owned, all the way to the G80 or the G90, the biggest of the sedans, you'll love everything about the car. If you would like to try the new SUV, the GV80, you call Vinny Gerard at 662-890-6684. He will bring it out to you.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Sports 56 traffic.
We're still working an accident on Canada Road at Highway 64. Also, accident on Austin P Highway at Rosemark Road. We're dealing with a tractor trailer on the right shoulder on I-55 at 3rd Street. And also, we're dealing with a crash on Airways at Shelby Drive. And that is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
I'm still standing better than I ever did. Looking like a true survivor. Feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing. All this time.
Yeah. I think you could mix this with Blinding Lights and make it pretty good.
That was
about
it, son.
Mashup.
There's one knock that I do have on today's music. They make a lot of songs that are interpretations of songs of hits that we've heard before, which pretty much guarantees it to be a hit. It's kind of how the ears work, you know. The sonic.
But I mean that's how it's been, man. It's been that way for
back in my day. We just sampled music.
Sampling.
All this stuff they're doing now, like this new Bruno Mars song with Anderson .Paak or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great song because it sounds like something we already heard before. That was a great song. Like I get it, but
I mean it's a soul song. It's what it is. It's kind of a reinvented soul song. It's good. It's really good.
And I hadn't really thought about it that song is Blinding Lights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So say you just mash them up together, and it's just the same kind of driving beat, same kind of
Back in my day, we just took your song and just did it. We didn't screw around with this.
We didn't ask for permission around here.
We didn't do any sonic teasing. We just.
No, we just took it and modified it ever so slightly, and then there you go. That's exactly what we had to do right there because we didn't want to pay anybody any money for it. Ha ha! That's exactly how it works. I saw a great. I wouldn't call it. It was an interview, but his interview. This dude who is the guy behind Bob James is behind like so many samples that you know. You know tons of his samples. They were in like a million different hip hop and mostly hip hop songs from years. Tons of them. And once you hear his originals, you're like, oh yeah, okay, I know exactly where that came from. And to hear him try to talk about how no one paid him for anything. He was like, I tried to get this guy, but it was too late. I tried to get this, but it was beyond the statute of limitations. I finally talked to this guy, and he said, no, it wasn't it at all. It was somebody else. And no, come on, dude. It was definitely that song. It's pretty fascinating to hear the amount of when you listen for the samples. It's crazy how many there are. All right, so it is a beautiful day. Going to be a nice day again, weather-wise. High mid-60s into the 70s. Yesterday was great. Outside, hung out outside as much as I possibly could. I think you should do the same thing. We've talked about our friend Jermaine Johnson, the assistant coach of the University of Memphis men's basketball team. He normally would join us around this time, but he can't because of scheduling situations. He's going to jump on tomorrow, though, as the Tigers get ready for their conference tournament action, the AAC tournament. They're going to try to do it again. I remember a year ago when we thought it was going to happen, but then obviously with COVID, it got real fast around here, and it was crazy. So we're a year removed from that whole situation. It'll be a year ago Thursday when Rudy Gobert was officially
March the 11th
positive, and the whole thing happened to Donovan Mitchell and the whole deal. It was that was the day I remember it all kind of changing at that point. So we'll talk about that stuff coming up here in just a little bit. Also, as we mentioned, we'll talk about the Grizzlies and the injury report situation, and they're getting back to practice later on today. So we talked about dumb stuff. A couple things here. Number one, Anthony Sain, are you excited about the Snyder cut of Justice League? I know you're a Marvel guy, right?
No, man, I'm just a superhero guy. Like I don't do the Marvel versus
It's a 4-hour cut. It's a 4-hour deal.
I'm watching that joint.
Well, apparently, if you were trying to watch Tom and Jerry, the new CGI film, you instead got the Justice League. The Zack Snyder's Justice League cut played for about an hour.
For real?
If you tried to watch Tom and Jerry, some users reported until it finally the quality started to degrade on HBO Max, and then finally it was gone after about an hour plus. But some people got to watch a full hour of Justice League trying to watch Tom and Jerry. Somehow the servers, I don't know what happened there. We had a little switcheroo. Somebody flipped the wrong button, whatever. But yes, he could. A guy named Doug Bass of Charlotte, North Carolina, said he tried to watch Tom and Jerry, but instead was able to access 1 hour of Justice League. And then he tried to restart the movie, but then Tom and Jerry played. So there's a certain amount of Justice League that he's got right there.
I can't wait.
So I'm not sure that it's going to happen right there. So a lot of people put screenshots and stuff up, but apparently there's takedown notices that are all over the place.
Oh, come on!
As you can imagine. Bass said, "I just want to put on Tom and Jerry for background noise while I worked." Well, that's kind of weird. But I just want to put on Tom and Jerry. This grown up want to put on Tom and Jerry for background noise while I work. But instead, I watched an hour of an amazing movie.
Hey, I'm so down.
So there you go.
Right, I've said what I had to say about I don't like how it seems like movies are going to be coming to TV now, and there's certain movies I don't want to watch on TV. But I also like the fact that Marvel's going to have a show on television for the next year. Every Friday is going to be a different Marvel show on. For you, laid out. I'm super down for that, man. And then this Snyder Cut's coming out too.
When is the Snyder Cut actually coming out?
It's like next week, huh? Is it this weekend?
Not the Tom and Jerry, not the Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry edition.
Man, that's a weird extended DC universe. Tom and Jerry.
No,
you got Batman
next week.
Okay.
Yeah, it says March 18th.
Oh yeah, super down
for it. Next Thursday. So that's when I would just love to see Batman and Joker, and then Tom and Jerry come running into the mix. I mean, that would be great. Let's get them in there. Wonder Woman. I really think there's a lot of pressure on
the Yogi Yahoos, the Really Roddens.
Hong Kong Phooey comes into the mix. El Kabong.
Yeah. What were the three teams?
Grape Ape.
Hold on.
Grape Ape.
The Yogi Yahoo. The Scooby Doobies.
Captain Caveman.
The Scooby Doobies.
Yeah. Oh man, the Scooby Doobies.
The Yogi Yahooies. Hillary Rodhams. Let's go back and check the replay. You remember that? Bro, the Laugh Olympics was so
Man,
good.
I have not the Laugh Olympics. I haven't
so
thought about
good,
that in forever. Oh my God. There's a lot of pressure on Zack Snyder to get this thing. I mean, like, DC's been pretty terrible as a universe. It's just not. It just doesn't even.
They need to just stop the
and it's
whole
a shame
universe
because
thing.
they got some great characters. They got some amazing characters, but it just hasn't. Like Superman, we've not been able to.
It's hard to
since
translate
the days
those
of Christopher
type
Reeve.
It's hard to translate those type of figures into real life movies, though, because all the superheroes in DC are like gods and goddesses, and like it just don't hit right. It's
The first Wonder Woman was great. Wonder Woman 1984 was not so good, but Wonder Woman, the first one was good.
The one with Donald Trump. The one with Donald Trump as the villain. 1984.
Yeah. 19, exactly. Yeah, that was just all right. I don't know. It wasn't that great. But the first one was good. I mean, like, I don't know. I see what you're saying, but like, I think you could certainly make that case for a lot of Marvel characters as well. I mean, they're extremely powerful and extremely, but they managed to get those backstories and all that stuff a lot more.
It's different between trying to like relate to like alien from another planet who's super OP and a kid from Brooklyn who got bit by a spider. Like the Marvel character is just way more relatable, and then when they put him on the big
plus
screen,
Aquaman is kind of Aquaman is just kind of
then they're making Aquaman like they're trying to catch him up, like he's making him awesome, but like he's still Aquaman at the end of the day. Still the dude used to wear the orange and green.
4 hours. 4 hours and 2 minutes.
Oh, I'm watching.
That's a long man. That's a long.
I ain't
movie.
watching it all in one setting, but I'm sure they'll have something set up where it goes to dark. So this is where if you want to stop here, it's a good stopping point.
I don't do that at all.
I ain't watching no setting all 4 hours.
Yeah.
But people complain about that, but they'll binge watch some TV show for a day. So what's the difference?
What they infusing like all the the character storylines?
That joint goes. I'm trying to figure out how they even had that much footage, because they had to do a lot of CGI and probably backward shots of actors that ain't in the movie no more.
Right.
So, like, it's probably a lot of weird stuff they had to do to make it happen. I mean, I'm interested to see how they edited that joint, because it wasn't a full movie. Like, because they didn't get the actors to come back and finish it. So I want to see how they got that done. That's a lot of footage if you were able to piece together 4 hours of footage. You think it's gonna look crappy though? You think it's gonna look smooth, or it's gonna look like
no.
you can obviously tell?
I think it'll look fine. I think it'll look fine. I think it's gonna look. They had the original cut. I mean, the whole situation. It was just a weird situation with the direction of the movie, and the studio moved into Joss Whedon and all that stuff to try to make it happen. And I don't know.
Which they should have never done.
Yeah, and so that, but it was like. The movie was basically done, or almost done, at the end of 2016, I think, and they just needed to do a few things. So, like, the footage was there, including footage with with Batman, and Joker, and
so
you have some.
We live in a society.
I think there may even be some Heath Ledger Joker.
Stop
footage in.
You for real?
Somebody said that they might have shot one scene like that.
But Heath Ledger, Heath Ledger was dead way before they did the movie.
A long time ago. That's what I thought. I thought somebody said that they shot one just as kind of a you know how they do all kinds of like little extra footage just stuff they might consider doing while everyone you might as well while everyone's.
I think they should kill the extended universe.
But obviously Jared Leto's the Joker in the thing. But
just do a bunch of one-offs, man. Like do a bunch of movies that aren't connected to each other.
They got we'll see
because they did the universe thing wrong. So let's say start all over again. They no need trying to keep that going.
You got a lot of there's a lot of stuff. It's a big it's a big cast, man. Big cast.
Yep.
I hope it's good. They need Marvel's like WWE, and DC's like WCW, like kind of struggling, like got some big names, but just can't quite get it together. They need competition. They need that strong competition. Let's go. Okay, so that's one particular. Speaking of movie cuts, Pepe Le Pew.
Hey, it's a nice segue, man. That was a legendary segue, honestly.
I appreciate it. Pepe Le Pew cut from Space Jam 2. in a scene about sexual consent. The idea, Anthony's saying in the new Space Jam, the LeBron Space Jam,
Let me check the text box. Let me keep the text box on refresh.
The idea was that when Space Jam 2 changed directors in 2019, they took this scene out. It was supposed to be a black and white Casablanca-like sequence where Pepe is a bartender who starts hitting on a woman at the bar. He uses his typical arm kiss move where he does it all the way up the arm without asking for consent first, leading the woman to pull back her arm and slam Pepe into the chair next to hers. The woman then splashes her drink on Pepe and slaps him so hard that his chair spins around until it's stopped by LeBron James's hand. The source added James and Bugs Bunny are looking for Lola, and Pepe knows her whereabouts. Pepe then tells the guys that Penelope Cat has filed a restraining order against him. LeBron makes a remark in the script that Pepe can't grab other tunes without their consent.
And they took that whole scene out. Per LeBron's
I like the representative of the actress who's going to do it. Her representative said this feels maybe a little over the top. Just listen to this quote. This was such a big deal for her to be in this movie. Even though Pepe's a cartoon character, if anyone was going to slap a sexual harasser like him, she wished it would have been her. Now the scene is cut, and she doesn't have that power to influence the world through younger generations who'll be watching Space Jam 2 to let younger girls and younger boys know that Pepe's behavior is unacceptable. That might be a little much. I think the younger boys and girls are going to be. We can teach them about.
I have a take on this. I don't really know how to
putting a bow
articulate
on this.
it though. I have
well.
This is what I'm trying to say. Okay, if they did that scene, and to this actress's defense, showing that type of behavior is wrong is a good thing. If her defense, if they wanted to keep it in to show this isn't how you treat women, period. Just like in Wonder Woman 84 when there was a scene where the guy was hitting on the woman, and they had you often see scenes like that in movies where some guy's getting too aggressive with the woman and then they beat the man up or whatever. That happens a lot. So I get what she's saying as far as this is concerned, to show that type of behavior is wrong. But introducing that type of scene, if you're doing it to show that type of behavior is wrong, is introducing that type of scene good to show to a child in that audience range anyway? You can understand what I'm saying? Like, it's like, do you need a scene of somebody snorting cocaine and then, hey man, don't snort cocaine? Like, it's like, do you? And I'm not saying that I'm not saying that the Pepe Le Pew thing is a strong thing to show or whatever, but I can't really say what I'm. It's not really coming out right. You see what I'm saying? Like what? Like it's really not that crucial. Like
no, it's. I mean that was my point. Is like it's not that we have other ways to be able to tell.
Yeah, we don't have to use Pepe Le Pew to.
We don't need like to put a bow on the Pepe Le Pew life story of like of a serial harasser. And him getting his comeuppance. I don't think anyone's like thirsting for like, oh, I can't wait till Pepe gets his. Like what? I don't think that's really necessary.
No, it's not a thing.
To tell that story. I think we can go back and look, just like at the cartoons in this whole cancel culture nonsense or whatever. Like, I don't think you need to cancel Pepe Le Pew. But I do think when you watch it, I've watched some Pepe Le Pew with my kids, and it's just very weird.
Yeah,
like, it's extremely
first
weird.
Of all, he smells.
Rewatching it,
like no woman wants you in your face if you smell like you smell. You're a skunk, Pepe Le Pew. Like nobody wants.
And he's going after this cat who's not. And then
stick with your own kind, Pepe Le Pew.
And she's made it very clear that she's not interested. And at one point, he puts a gun to his own head to like make her open the window.
Right.
And then when she does that, he grabs her and like
the things
this is
we
not.
Saw, the things we saw
that wasn't a cartoon for a kid. Like the guy was getting threatened suicide, and then he's like, I'm just kidding. I was just manipulating you emotionally so that you would kiss me. Like what? That's demented, deranged behavior. Right. It's a cartoon, but like that's just stupid.
Narcissistic behavior.
So anyway, when you watch it with a kid, we had to kind of like, because my kids are young, they had to pause and like I was like, so this is all just.
And then the cat used to run from him. Did the lady even have a name? Did she have a name in the cartoon?
Penelope.
And it was something started with a P.
Yeah, Penelope.
And then poor Penelope, she would run away from this creep. And then she would say, "Les pants, Les pants.
Yeah, exactly.
She had to show her expressions of being tired in French.
Exactly.
Les pants. Les pants. That is so funny.
So yeah. But I think we can contextualize.
Yeah, I'm fine with being without pictures.
Just like we can contextualize all the racist imagery and that was in Dr. Seuss back in the day, and tons of racist stuff in Looney Tunes. You go back and watch some old Looney Tunes, and there's some extremely racist
what are you talking about?
depictions. So
they throw a pie on somebody's face, and it'll drop down looking like they were in blackface. Like that happens.
Or Asian stereotypes are just like insanely stereotypical. Native American stereotypes are crazy. Mexican stereotypes. Mm-hmm. All that stuff.
Don't watch old Tracy cartoons. You'll be.
It's so yeah. So you have to contextualize all that stuff and say, here's what the deal. Like, I'm not saying you gotta, wipe it off the face of the earth. When you play it on, it's on Disney Plus, I guess, or on I forget what outlet we played it on, but like there's a sequence that airs at the beginning. It's like, we're gonna present this in as it was, but we've come a long way, and cultural representations are not what they should be, that kind of thing, as a reminder, which I think is good. Like, we have come a long way, and some of those are terrible. So that's not the only thing though. We come back. There's an incredible story out of the world of stupidity that we're going to get to as well. We'll talk a little bit about the Grizzlies back in action too when we come back. Real Sports Star, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio. We are Sports 56, 98.5, and 96.1.
One thing I really admire about Central Barbecue is their commitment to quality.
Then why do they let you do their commercials?
I'm talking about their food. Everything is prepared with devotion to taking the time and effort to create perfect barbecue.
Oh, I know. That's exactly why I was wondering why.
They're not kidding with that slow-smoked Memphis-style slogan. They smoke their pork for 14 hours. Do they have to? They do if they want to be the best barbecue in Memphis, and they are.
And yet they let you just throw together.
There's nothing better than Central Barbecue because they care.
Except apparently about their radio ads.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
2021 is finally here. Might I suggest we start the wonderful new year with a makeover for your beautiful house. I'm Brian Elder. I'm a roofer. I fix roofs. Don't let them tell you that it has to be replaced when all it may need is some love. 867-0303. Let me love on your roof. I've made quite the reputation over the last decade as the guy to call after the insurance company denies the claim. Overturning a claim that has gone bad is an art form where you argue county code, manufacturer specs, and details of your policy that they have to abide by. So let me see it first. If I say it's a claim, it's a claim. 867-0303. Money is free at Brian Elder Roofing with 0% financing for half a decade. I'll measure your roof from outer space and get you a quote right over the phone. 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Now with Taco Bell's app, you can build a box filled with your favorites for just $5. Personally, I go with the Chalupa.
What? You mean Crunchwrap Supreme, plus that beefy 5-layer burrito?
Perhaps you meant bean burrito, grilled with chips and nacho cheese sauce.
Nah, you got a vibe with cinnamon twists and a Baja Blast.
Eat like you with Taco Bell's $5 build-your-own cravings box, exclusively online or with the Taco Bell app. Must make selections from predetermined menu items at limited participating U.S. locations for a limited time online or in the Taco Bell app only. Contact store for prices and participation which vary. Drinks exclude freezes, tax extra.
Hi, I'm Hayden Moore, General Manager of the all-new Wolf Chase Hyundai. Don't miss the Hyundai Spring Upgrade Sales Event. For the first time ever, get 0% APR for 60 months on the all-new 2021 Elantra. Drive with Hyundai Assurance, America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Visit wolfchasehyundai.com. With approved credit, $1,667 per month for every $1,000 finance. Example down payment 10%. Down payment will vary based on credit rating. Offer ends 4/12/21.
Looking for a great place to deposit your money? Try First Bank. Competitive CD rates, a money market that moves with Wall Street prime and interest-bearing checking account options. Not to mention their friendly bankers who make decisions locally. To find out more, stop by one of First Bank's 3 local branches. 6482 Poplar Avenue, just east of International Paper. 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase. And 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or visit firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC.
Sports 56 traffic.
We're still dealing with the tractor trailer on I-55 and 3rd Street. It is blocking the right shoulder. Also, still dealing with crashes on Airways at Shelby Drive this morning. We got a couple of new accidents here on the roadways. Accident on Ridgeway at Winchester, and then accident on East Parkway near Central Avenue. We have a car that has struck a pole. And that is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good. I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
I can't fight this feeling any longer.
Oh,
And
yeah.
yet I'm still afraid to let it flow.
Uh-huh.
What started out
REO
as
Speedwagon.
friendship has grown stronger.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Only wish I had the strength to let it show.
Do a little soft rock Tuesday. You can hear this on 107.5. It's going to be a beautiful day today. It's already a nice day as you look outside. Peter Edmiston, Anthony Sane, Zach Boyd with you. A lot of very serious. You guys are very. I come back in here. There's a lot of nobody. Just everyone's very serious. I don't know
Locked
what's going
in,
on.
man. Serious stuff going
Locked
on.
in,
People saying stupid stuff all over the world out here, man. We gotta.
Oh, it's,
gotta deal with it.
that's true. That's true. Papa John.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
Papa John.
Oh, give me started.
Yesterday. Papa John, old Papa John, who is the former CEO of the titular Papa John's Pizza. That's the former because he had a propensity to use the N-word apparently in various forms and in conversations and in business situations and people. It turns out that's not good. You shouldn't.
No.
You shouldn't do that at all. And he was removed, and now he's still mad about that, and he's coming back to try to rehab his image. Papa's a weird looking fella to begin with. He looks. I don't know. He's had a lot of issues. If you just sort of delve in a little bit to the Louisville area, but anyway. But he did an interview with far-right propaganda outlet OAN and yesterday, in which he said that he's been working for the last 20 months to get rid of this N-word in my vocabulary.
Can I play you the audio? I got it.
And in the, yeah. Oh, you got the audio? Okay, yeah. Let's play the audio. Yeah, play the audio.
Let's get some context, man.
Don't throw him out there.
Back to a few years ago when you start to see these headlines coming out and smearing your good name. How did you feel at the time when you were seeing these headlines?
State of shock. Unbelievable. I couldn't understand it. I mean, again, you have a public board that paints its chairman complicit, passive, or active. They paint the founder as a racist. They know he's not a racist. It's just unbelievable. And I used to lay in bed just going, how did they do this? And we've had 3 goals for the last 20 months to get rid of this N-word in my vocabulary and dictionary and everything else because it's just not true.
N-words in his dictionary?
Figure out how they did this and get on with my life. If Papa John's would just say, hey, we got in a hurry, we didn't follow proper.
It's unbelievable. How could they possibly have
trying to avoid this type of stuff, man.
How could they possibly doing that? And how could they possibly have done that when he? I mean, how could they have implied that he was racist when he only used the N-word on
one time
on a conference call in a conference call with his with the rest of his board? How could the board then paint him as that way? It's hard to believe.
I've been working hard to get this word out of my vocabulary for the last 20 months.
I
haven't participated in any them in the last 20 months.
I hate the fact that we cannot play the Boondocks version.
Yeah, I want you to play that clip so bad.
I really want to play it so bad, but I can't.
Did you see Mike? I definitely can't play this one, but I saw one of my favorite follows a guy named George Foster, former lineman in the NFL in Georgia. He's hilarious, but he posted a clip of somebody. This guy's response to it, and oh man, it's it made me snort. I wish I could play it, but I can't. But but who could have imagined that when Papa John on a conference call 3 years ago, trying to downplay the significance of his NFL statement about national anthem protests and blaming the league for slowing sales at Papa John's, his comment was, quote, Colonel Sanders called blacks N-words. How could you possibly take that comment to mean that he has some racist bones in his body? Who could have imagined that such a comment from Papa John would be interpreted as possibly offensive and racist?
Yeah, it's wild.
20 months.
20 months.
That's a long time. That's almost 2 years.
Oh.
Is it out of the vocabulary? Is it out of the dictionary? The encyclopedia? The thesaurus? Is it out of? Is it out of the? No, I'm not talking about yours, Anthony. I'm talking about Papa John's.
No, I mean in any dictionary. Like we all buy. We don't have custom made dictionaries that did you go to the store and buy. You're kind of. And my dictionary app definitely doesn't have it in there. So unless he has another type of device outside of iOS or Android, maybe
he's talking about his. I think he's talking about his
personal definition,
personal vernacular,
glossary.
much like when who was it that did the autocorrect and they said this autocorrect changed it to that word.
Did you talk about
Nuggets?
The Nuggets.
Yeah, the Nugget. Oh yeah, the Nugget. Yeah,
play-by-play
the
guy
Nuggets.
or whatever.
Yeah.
I hate to ask that dude what he wants from McDonald's in the text. You know, what he like. Tell him what he might send back.
It's like making a run at McDonald's.
Bring me back 20
wrong.
Sorry.
And it's one of those things where you if you try it on your phone, I can't get it to autocorrect to that word because I don't type that word, and so your autocorrect learns what you type. So if you've never typed that word, that's not a suggested word to change the autocorrect to. Now, if you have typed that word a few times, then all of a sudden, guess what? The dictionary and the algorithm learns that might be a word that you like to use. And so it might suggest that word all of a sudden. So it kind of tells you something that if your autocorrect offers that as a choice,
yeah,
that is indicative of a choice that
you've beaten that word into his vocabulary.
Yeah.
You know
That's
that as
exactly,
well. You've beaten that word into an accepted word into your phone.
Exactly, because your phone does not default to where that's cool. Like if you try it, right out of the gate, if you've never used it before, and you try to get it to correct to that word, it will not do it. So
can we just give him a list of lyrics with the word in it to see to see how well he has adjusted? like the guy
my guy Kofi from SB Nation tweeted out the SpongeBob thing is when Gold Digger comes on at the club, Papa John's reaction is
he's sweating, dog.
Sweat just pouring out, like, just come on, man, just like do this.
She ain't messing with no broke.
You can do this. Oh, come on, Papa.
So ridiculous.
Boy, having an internal struggle, man. Come on.
I mean, he's sweating out there. He's sweating bullets. Come on, Papa.
I love it when my boy said, I can't think of his name right now, man. Black actor. He's from England, which is 90% of the actors these days. 90% of black actors. God, where is he from?
That's right.
The Star Wars guy?
No, he was getting interviewed about something, and a lady ordered Jonah says, it's just weird that that you guys can say the N-word. His name is Delroy, that's his name. Something like, I can't think of his name.
Delroy.
Yeah. He said you guys can say the N-word, but we can't. He was like, just say it if you want to say it.
Oh, right. Yeah. Wait a minute. Hold on. Give me some time. I need to find.
Yeah, Delroy Lindo. That's right, Delroy Lindo.
Delroy Lindo.
Oh yeah. Delroy Lindo. Yeah. I remember that.
Like, if you want to say it, like, why do you want to say it so bad? Like, what?
Oh, I remember that. I remember that so well. Yeah, just say it. Go ahead and say it.
Just say it.
Just say it. Just say it. You can say it.
It's cool.
It's cool. Just say it. They had that epic debate that one time on one of the news networks about which word was more offensive, cracker or the N-word. I was like, well, the one that you can't actually say is the one that definitely, because the one that you have to refer to as the N-word is definitely more offensive than the one that you could actually say.
Right.
So that's argument over. That was quick. That's a quick argument. We knocked that one out.
How can you think that that's even remotely as offensive as?
I don't know.
Or destructive, or has more power than? Come on, man.
I don't know.
There are a lot of debates that I can get into, but like when people say, "Oh, Sane's racist," I chuckle a lot, but that's a totally different debate. So
there's not a racist bone in Anthony Sane's body.
Here's the clip. Here's the clip. I got it.
Take hip-hop. Okay. We've talked about this on the show before. You have African-American rappers saying N-word this and N-word that, but a Caucasian can't.
So say it.
Just say it.
Say the word you want to say.
I'm not saying that I want to say it. I'm just saying that I can't.
No, you clearly want to say
it. Say it right now. I will say it with you.
Okay, this is hypocritical. You know we can't.
Sure you can. This is America. Both of you. Say it.
All right, I think we can move on.
What?
Now you want to move on. Now you want to move on.
Just say it. Just go ahead and say it. Just say it.
Just say it, man.
Just say it. Oh, man. That's so... Yeah. So anyway, whether you're Papa John's or whether you are...
something's wrong with this world, man.
Whoever that guy was. Let's go back to our number one rule of thumb. And I'll just speak here to the white delegation on this one. Sometimes I still the question is still posed to me in a all white situation, in an all white affair. Sometimes the question is posed to me.
I can't stop thinking about we asked Rob about the all black affair, and he didn't know what to say.
Why can we not say this word? We being white people, and it's really not that hard if you think about it. But should you ever say it? No, under no circumstances. Should you sing it in your car if you're rapping along or singing to songs that have that in it? I would say probably no. Just don't even do that. Just at no point. Just keep that out of your mouth. It's not our word. It's not our situation. It was a word that our predecessors, and hopefully not currently, but a lot of our predecessors used in very, very terrible ways. And it has a terrible, terrible history of abuse and, horrible violence and mistreatment and racism and all that stuff. It's not, if it is to be used, it is to be used by black folks or it doesn't have to be. I mean, that's a very interesting debate. Whether you should or shouldn't. Can you recontextualize it? Can you reclaim it? Can you that's a whole different debate. It's not my debate to have. My point is no. If you're asking yourself as a white person, should you ever use the word? The answer is no. Is there any circumstance where I should ever use the word? The answer is no.
Use it at your own risk. Is what I'll say.
I'll just say no. Don't use it. There's no. You can't think. Oh, I'm. No, I've got like some black friends, so it's cool if I do. No, there's not. It's not. It's never. There's no like use of the. I don't know what this whole thing about like the. No, you never get yourself in a point where that's acceptable. It's not. It just isn't.
You know how you try to protect your kids from stuff? I'm going to kind of split the conversation a little bit. You know how you try to protect your kids from being upset or getting hurt, right? My daughter, Sabrina, kind of lives in a green world, like where she's real naive about how life works and about how evil people can be. I won't say I blame her mom for that, but that's just kind of, what it is.
Oh, boy. Okay.
But her mom's kind of sees everything positive. I don't see bad in people. She's that kind of person. She's kind of raised Sabrina to be the same way. But Sabrina came home from school one day, and she was I picked her up from school. She was telling me about a girl she said there was a girl in school that was going around the cafeteria, and she was dropping the hard ER throughout the cafeteria, like just going in. Hard ERs everywhere. So That's a totally different conversation about hard ER and GGA. But anyway, she was dropping hard ERs throughout the Hardy Burgers. Like what is he talking about? But she was dropping hard ERs throughout the cafeteria, and a black boy went off on her. Basically, was like, "Don't if you ever say it again, I'm gonna punch you in the face." Is basically what he said to the girl, and people from the school rushed over. They pulled them apart from each other, and the boy gets in trouble, gets suspended. And I knew at that point I was done. Like, I couldn't protect Sabrina from the world anymore. Like, she saw on her own, like, yeah, this world is something wrong with society. You know what I mean? Like, that was her first real glimpse of what racism really is. And yeah, man, like my boy said, if that's in your heart to say it, just let it out, man. Like, it's a free country. Like, nobody's stopping you from doing any of that. Like, you ain't got to hide behind nothing. You ain't got to hide behind an American flag on Facebook as your profile picture. You ain't got to hide behind any of that. Just say it. You ain't got to go to
somebody's gonna stop you.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if you, and I ain't threatening nobody. I'm just saying, if that's in your heart, man, don't be somebody you're not. Let it out. You got hate in your heart. Let it out. Condoleezza Rice. Whatever.
What about earlier on late last week? Chris Cuomo from CNN was having an exchange with Don Lemon and Chris Cuomo, the brother of the embattled New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, said that they were talking about Good Times, the show. They were doing some kind of singing about the theme song, and Chris Cuomo said, "quote I'm black on the inside."
Okay.
So that's good. Then don't do that either if you're.
Oh, jeez. Why are we setting each other? We're just setting each other up for failure, man. We're setting ourselves up for failure. That's
real.
Just don't say that.
Chris Cuomo is black on the inside. Everybody.
Just remember that. He is full Italian, man. Come on.
I think that's not true. I'm going to go ahead and say, where's our clip? Fiction. False. That was invented by a writer.
It's fiction.
False. Not.
It's an urban legend.
Is Chris Cuomo black on the inside?
We got you.
False. We got you.
No way. Not this time. We created it. Not this time. No, not this time. It's totally pure fiction. It's fiction.
It's an urban legend.
We made it up. We made this one up. It's a made-up tale.
It's a made-up tale.
No way.
It's a made-up tale. No way. We got you. All right, when we come back, I told you, our cup runneth over with.
We told y'all ahead of time. This is what today's show is going to be.
Yeah, we told you today. We had a backlog of all this stuff we had to get through today. Just a lot.
We had so much happen over the weekend, Grizzly and Tiger related, NBA stuff. Yeah, but no, man, we're emptying the clip. We're emptying the clip.
That's exactly right. That's right. We're knocking it out.
This been in the chamber for a few weeks now.
Hour 3, we'll talk about some Jared Jackson stuff, some trade deadline stuff. I want to say my piece on the Gorgie Jing situation. I threw some teasers out there on Twitter and Facebook. I want to talk about that, baby. We got time for all that, baby. Right now, we're going to talk about who empty the clip with all this good racism. We've been sitting on.
It's going to go bad. The expiration date's coming up. It's been sitting in the pantry. We got to eat it. We got to finish it up. Come on.
Like, who
like
raised
when that milk,
people?
when the milk gets to 1 day left, we got to drink milk. Yeah, it's cereal. Come on, we can't waste this.
The snowstorm.
Oh man,
cereal. All this bottled
3
water.
meals a day.
Drink that bottled water. You don't need no soda. Drink that bottled water. Got cases of this crap around here.
All right, when we come back, we will finish up on that discussion. And I said a lot more Grizzlies talk as well coming up throughout the show. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1.
The voice of your Memphis Tigers, Dave Woloshin. The man with all the stats, Brett Norsworthy. Together, an unbeatable combo of entertaining and insightful sports talk. Wolo and Stats, 3 hours a day, every weekday from 3 to 6 on Sports 56.
Hi, I'm Tito Beveridge, founder and master distiller at Tito's Handmade Vodka. In 1997, I started the first micro distillery in the state of Texas with my dog, Dog Joe, at my side. We're still working with dogs out at the distillery after all these years. Learn more about how dogs are a part of life here at Tito's Handmade Vodka at vodkafordogpeople.com. Tito's Handmade Vodka is made from corn and naturally gluten-free. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Tito'sVodka.com.
Did you know nearly 40% of men under 40 and over 75% of men over the age of 40 experience sexual performance concerns? At the Memphis Men's Clinic, their experienced physician performs a comprehensive evaluation that determines which specific issues may interfere with your sexual performance. These issues can vary and range from anxiety to medical issues, low testosterone, or erectile dysfunction. The Memphis Men's Clinic has evaluated hundreds of men of all ages over the years and reestablished a normal sexual life. The Memphis Men's Clinic will work aggressively to resolve issues and allow you to restore your sexual health and overall well-being. That's the Memphis way. If you're 20 years old or 90 years old, come and get cared for the Memphis way. Treatment that's based on your specific needs after a professional clinical evaluation by their experienced board-certified physician. Call the Memphis Men's Clinic today at 901-443-0475 or visit memphismensclinic.com.
Hey, if you're hungry for great Mexican food for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, got it. La Guadalupana, La Guadalupana, Guadalupana. Choose from tacos, burritos, enchiladas, sizzling shrimp, beef or chicken fajitas, and even a Cuban sandwich filled with Mexican sausage, chicken, ham, steak, jalapenos, avocado. Add a nice cold beer to your super nachos. Top with melted cheese, beans, sour cream, guacamole, tomato, and jalapenos. Great prices, generous portions, great service at 3 locations: Summer Avenue, Cordova Road in Winchester, La Guadalupana.
If you're going on vacation, making a college campus visit, or if business takes you out of town, there's just no better place to board your dog than Barks and Recreation, 965 Ruddock Cove between Bud Davis Cadillac and the Blue Plate Cafe in East Memphis. Boarding, daycare, grooming, we have the best of everything at Barks. Indoor-outdoor kennels so your family member can go in and out as they please. Indoor and outdoor play areas. 4 walks a day, group play, and individual attention from the best staff in the Mid-South, which includes an overnight staff to ensure the safety and comfort of your pet 24 hours a day. All reasons to choose Barks and Recreation above all other boarding and daycare facilities. BarksDaycare.com or 509-0909. Check us out and make your reservations now at BarksDaycare.com. If your dog could speak, he'd say Barks.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Now here you go again. You say you want your freedom.
You definitely hear this on 107.5. Fantastic. Hour number 2 continues here. Peter Edmiston, Anthony Sane with you. Zach Boyd, not to be confused with Zach Snyder.
Cut. What the Zach Boyd cut looking like, man? The Zach Boyd haircut. What this looking like?
Yeah,
it's getting cut this week.
It ain't 4 hours. It ain't 4 hours. I can tell you that. It ain't 4 hours.
No, it's like
4 minutes. If that.
The Zach Boyd cut.
10 minutes.
Speaking of all this, since we'll finish the hour in the way that we've continued it. University of Texas committee formed in November to investigate the history of the Eyes of Texas released a 58-page report, which says this morning that says the school song was not written with racist intent, but acknowledges that its performance was by performers in blackface during a minstrel show. Cool.
It's false. No, not this time. We created
the song.
Not this time.
Right.
The song is, as we talked about before, is a huge issue because so many Texas people just love the thing and can't get enough of it. Want it to be at their wedding. They play it before the game. They play it after the game. It's a huge. Alums were freaking out that the players the current players were protesting and saying, hey, this is a song's pretty racist. It was used to perpetuate racism. It was done by performers in blackface, minstrel shows, etc. We need to separate ourselves from this. We would like to see this separated from the university, make some changes. And the university presidents and all the rich people like big babies were like, nope, I need my song. I need my binky. I need it. You can't change it. And so now this report has come out and crucially trying, I think they're trying to thread the needle here, guys. They're trying to find a way to keep the song while also acknowledging that it's definitely got some racist history behind it, but the song itself, in their mind, isn't racist, and so it's okay to keep playing it as long as it's yeah.
Hey, play what you want to play, man. I just got done talking about that, not even 10 minutes ago. Do
well, that's what they want to play. Apparently, that's what they want to play.
And I'll say this: when the stuff first came out about HBCUs, getting players and the push towards HBCUs. I laughed at it. I looked down at it. I was like, man, get out of here. Like, nobody's going to play. I'm not sending my kid to, second-rate facilities with, as far as the sports stuff goes and all that. All this. That was me about this time last year when it started being a big thing. But I'll say right here today that when schools have those type of attitudes about stuff like that, there's no way I'd send my kids to those type of schools. Like, period. Like, I would. And I really hope that the things that guys like Deion Sanders are doing and other people that are trying to start that movement. I wish more athletes would give back to some of these black universities. Because, man, if people can come out and say these type of things about our kids like that easily and, make these comments and because one black kid co-signs them, oh, he's fine, or see, he's fine, whatever. We'll cut this kid a check later. When that type of stuff happens, like, there's a clear problem. And I think we should start, well, let me remember my platform. But I just think that these universities, these institutions are clearly showing what they really value. And it ain't your kids. It ain't our kids. You know what I mean? So I just I wish that we would make more efforts to have our own stuff and to support our own kids and our own universities, because then we could really take your freedoms. You keep your songs, keep your theme songs, keep your mascots, keep all of that. But imagine a world where black athletes stop black athleting for your universities. Let's see how that would look if we really want to go on freedom of speech and freedom of choice and all those type of things. So, yeah, I'm down for it. Shout out. Shout out to JSU. Shout out to Deion Sanders.
Well, it's a really it's something that we talked about a lot. We had a whole a whole segment and a big discussion a few months back when Maker went to Howard, and we talked with Kari. Kari Thompson is a HBCU grad. CJ, our buddy CJ Hurt, is HBCU grad. Tuskegee and Hampton, respectively. So we talked about their experiences specifically at HBCUs versus predominantly white institutions and what the difference is for black students. Forget about student athletes, just students in general.
Black students in general,
You can go and be, yourself. It's a more comfortable environment, as opposed to being,
Texas said bye-bye. Yeah, I'm sure that's what you want.
the black kid, this, that, you're just the, you get to just be the goofy kid, as opposed to, the black goofy kid. You get there's a difference in the way that you're treated, the way that you're looked. It just allows for a different level of comfort, and so I think it would be great to see that, and I hope that's example, because I think you're right. I mean, I think the cards have been laid on the table here pretty clearly.
Yeah, they don't care about those kids.
If you listen to the university president,
they don't care because they know they got them. I'm sorry, bro. They know they have them in their back pocket. They know that they're going to constantly go to these schools and keep these people rich, so they don't care. But go ahead, man.
I mean, listen to him. Listen to the president trying to thread this needle, though. He says, he was asked if the song had racist undertones. He said, "For me, the song itself doesn't, but it certainly was present at different times where those undertones existed." You go back to thinking about its first performance in a 1903 minstrel show. I mean, you cannot deny that performance has the racial undertones and overtones, if you will, hateful things. But on the other hand, if you look at the way, to me, the song was composed, written, and designed, it wasn't designed for that. See how they're trying to thread this needle here? And it's all about a song. No matter how you've loved the song or whatever, things change. We talked about adapting culture. We talked about changing times. We talked about treating people the right way. If you don't respect your athletes enough to listen to them, if you continually demean them, treat them less than, why should they keep coming to your school? At some point, the financial benefit doesn't add up.
Because people are quick to say, oh, when the boosters stop giving money, they'll change then. Yeah, when the black athletes stop going to your schools, let's see what that looks like.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
When your boosters are giving money to a team that's 2-10, and
let's see what that looks like. I guarantee you that you need those athletes on the field more than you need those donations. So.
Well, I mean, and again, if the donations, if you're a school, a university that is supposedly an institution of higher learning, that is supposed to be inclusive of everyone, and it's supposed to be a place where races, people of all different races can come together and learn, and these kids can turn into young men and young women and grow. And all of that is incumbent upon you taking money from people who demand that racist things persist. What does that say about your institutional belief? Mm-hmm. What does that say about what you truly believe in as an institution?
Oh, for sure.
If you're willing to make those kinds of compromises in order to get that extra little bit of money, what does that say about you? Do you think Texas is hurting for money at this point?
No.
They got an endowment. They got a massive endowment, like most of these schools do. No. Tap into it. Find a way. And if you lose it, you know what? That's dirty money anyway.
That's facts.
If you care about your people, you care about all of your students. And obviously, most importantly in this discussion, if you care about your black students, but if you care about the white students for whom you're trying to set an example, you're trying to tell them what's right and what's wrong, or what's the right thing to do. What is the example you want to set as an organization? And that's just, to me, it's a no-brainer. I mean, you have to be where's your integrity? Zach, you were saying?
No, I was gonna say just go ahead and spend a couple stacks and get Beyonce to write your song, man.
Zach, what are you talking about?
I mean, just change your song. I mean, just go ahead and change it, man.
I don't know if you can afford Beyonce to write the song.
Man,
go get Beyonce and change your song, man. Like you got the money, dog.
Texas says, "Don't let the door hit you in the butt cheeks on the way out." Yeah, okay. We know how much you guys love your SEC football. I hate to see that without any Negroes.
It's this one.
So stupid.
Don't worry about this guy. Don't worry about this guy.
So stupid.
Just ignore this guy.
This
is our most loyal listener. This guy's our most loyal listener. He's
literally every day.
every single day. I appreciate it. He's fantastic.
We appreciate you for chiming in, man.
Thank you for chiming in, being a part of the show. We appreciate it. Hour number 3 on the way. We'll talk about the Grizzlies and what happens now. As the return to action is coming up, their grueling second half of the season starts tomorrow, and it really starts today because practice is back in just a few hours. So we'll discuss that and more. Hour number 3 on the way. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
2021 is finally here. Might I suggest we start the wonderful new year with a makeover for your beautiful house. I'm Brian Elder. I'm a roofer. I fix roofs. Don't let them tell you that it has to be replaced when all it may need is some love. 867-0303. Let me love on your roof. I've made quite the reputation over the last decade as the guy to call after the insurance company denies the claim. Overturning a claim that has gone bad is an art form where you argue county code, manufacturer specs, and details of your policy that they have to abide by. So let me see it first. If I say it's a claim, it's a claim. 867-0303. Money is free at Brian Elder Roofing with 0% financing for half a decade. I'll measure your roof from outer space and get you a quote right over the phone. 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
The winter collection sale now until March at Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Your one and only Lexus dealership in Memphis. This great winter collection sales event has super special financing offers featuring the flagship LS500 and Lexus named the #1 certified pre-owned program in the industry for the 4th straight year by U.S. News and World Report. The winter collection sale now until March at Lexus of Memphis. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
It's time, Memphis. Join Ja Morant, Tyus Jones, and your Memphis Grizzlies Wednesday, March 10th at 7 p.m. when they take on the Washington Wizards presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Tickets start at just $12, but they won't last long. Check out grizzlies.com/tickets today.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Looking for a high-efficiency planting solution? The Case IH 2150 Early Riser Planter combines the industry's most accurate planter technologies with a rugged row unit for fast and uniform emergence. The Case IH 2150 Early Riser operates at your speed and adapts to unique field conditions so that you can maximize your yield potential. Stop in or call Mid-South Ag Equipment at 662-890-3141 to learn more. That's Mid-South Ag, your Case IH Equipment headquarters.
I know the sweetest thing in Memphis, and I know it's been around for 115 years. You know, I'm talking about Dinstall's, and it's time to stock up heavy on Cashew Crunch, Heavenly Crunch, Turtlettes, all of your favorite Dinstall's treats. So easy to get. The sweetest thing in Memphis, all you have to do is head to Laurelwood or head to Germantown and Poplar right across from the hospital, or go where they make the candies. That's on Pleasant View. There's nothing that says Memphis better than Cashew Crunch with that little tinge of coconut, or the Turtlettes. Let's face it, there's nothing better than Dinstall's chocolate. That's the mainstay of all candies, isn't it? Milk chocolate, although their dark chocolate is pretty darn good. And if you get the peppermint with the dark chocolate and put it in the freezer, you're going to love it. So many ways to love Dinstall's. Stock up heavy on all of your favorite Dinstall's treats. 115 years of making Memphis oh so sweet.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Sports 56 traffic.
We have one new accident on the roadways this morning. Accident on Whidden Road at Goodlet Farm Parkway. That's Whidden Road at Goodlet Farm Parkway. Also, we're still working an accident on East Parkway near Central Avenue. Car has struck a pole. That's East Parkway at near Central Avenue and Whidden Road at Goodlet Farms Parkway. And that is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
I never thought she'd say goodbye. And I never
Hour number 3 on a Soft Rock Tuesday. You can hear this probably on 107.5, I would imagine.
Yep.
I'm Peter Edmiston. He is Anthony Sane. And, of course, Zach, not Snyder, over on the ones and twos today, making it happen. We've really highlighted a lot of dumb stuff today. Hopefully we're going to be we don't have any more dumb stuff to throw out there.
The people.
the
people. We gotta
people
do better.
are.
We gotta do better
you know,
as a human race here, man.
We can do it. We're working on it. We're working on it. We're gonna get there.
I'm not racist. I think I might be human racist. Like I'm just tired of humans. Just tired of humans, man, altogether. All of you.
Misanthrope, they call that a misanthrope. Yeah. Misanthropic.
I'm just tired of
the curmudgeonly misanthropic Anthony Sain joining us here. On the,
you know who else I hate? Tigers.
Stop.
Oh God. Don't do it to yourself. Come on.
Oh man.
Come on.
Oh God.
Just say it. Just say it. You want to say it so bad? Just say it.
Okay, I'll say
Remember
it.
my old rule that they taught me a long time ago in broadcasting school. You could say anything once.
I'll say it. They're not winning the conference tournament. I'm sorry. It's out there. I feel better.
Say it once. Saying anything you want. You could say it one time, and then that's probably it for you.
I feel better.
But you could say it once.
Hey, speaking of feeling better, I actually do feel
you
better.
You are. Do what?
I actually do feel better though. I've had time to process things. I'm not as down about the game Sunday, the Tiger game Sunday as I was yesterday. I feel better.
See?
I've allowed time to process, man. I actually
need that
see
time.
a very optimistic path in which the Tigers can win the conference tournament.
See, and you were just out there just crushing people for having that level of optimism.
I was being realistic based on the information I had at the time.
Yeah, but people process things differently. You know,
I know.
They may have processed it quicker.
And I told people in the act, I said, this is how I'm going to process this hurt and this pain right now. But tomorrow I'll probably feel better.
I know.
And today is tomorrow. And
I know, but you played the fictional clip over people that said the Tigers are going to win the tournament. You were denigrating their feelings. It's fiction.
Not a chance.
It's false. That's what I'm saying. It's
not
false.
It didn't
it's fiction. So you saying that you didn't do that
it's
is
an urban legend.
False.
It's created on Facebook.
It's invented by a writer.
Jason Munns.
We got you.
Christian. It was created by Christian Fowler.
Christian Fowler. You better mention that too.
His NBA chances were fabricated by Leon Taylor.
Chuck Lawson.
that comp came from Leon.
All right.
Pure fiction.
Go ahead, man.
It's going to be a pretty day today.
Yes.
Highs in the upper 60s to low 70s. Should be nice. Going to be a little cloudier over the next few days, but no rain expected until the weekend, sadly. That's how it's going to be. We've talked about the Tiger situation, and there's plenty of championship week action happening all around the country as you're watching, and you're kind of keeping an eye on how things go. Obviously, what you want if you're a Tiger fan is as much stability and as few upsets as possible in the old college basketball world, because anybody that is a bid thief at this point is taking one from the Tigers. You want there to be no doubt that the Tigers could slide in if they get into that last four category. You don't want those spots to be taken by some random team, winning whatever conference. That just pulls those bids out of the mix, and so you definitely don't want to see that. Now, should the Tigers make the tournament? In terms of how they're playing, I think so. If you look at Jay Billis just did his 68 best teams in college basketball, and the Tigers are very firmly in the mix at number 50. And he says that they should be a tournament team. They're ahead of Duke. For example, he has them ahead of Duke, the Tigers. He has them. He has Ole Miss also as one of the 68 teams that should be making the tournament. So in terms of quality and how they're playing, I would agree with that. Unfortunately, they've left themselves a lot of work to do in order to seal that up and to make that happen when push comes to shove. So that will remain to be seen. But we'll talk about that as the week goes on. Coach JJ is going to join us tomorrow to talk about those issues and more. But yeah, keep an eye on the championship week this week, and just again be hoping that all the matchups that you see as the ACC tournament gets underway. I mean, Duke is playing today in the ACC tournament. On day one. Usually Duke is. I mean, they're the double bye is what is in the mix for them, but not today. You've also got Gonzaga, in the mix tonight. Watching them, they have some spectacular play to watch. Gonzaga, they're a lot of fun this year. And again, you just hope that there's no upset in the West Coast Conference or anything like that. You want to see the top seeds in each of these tournaments survive, advance, all that stuff. No funny business. That helps the Tigers going forward for sure.
For sure. Do you think a team like Kentucky has a chance? We talked about this on and off the
Yeah.
last couple weeks.
Yeah, I do. Absolutely.
They could get hot and just win the whole freaking thing.
I mean, the SEC has been so weird. I don't think it's going to happen because Kentucky's shown no evidence that they're capable of that. But I mean, they do have. I mean, it's they play Mississippi State, like that's a game that they certainly can win. Then they'd have to play Alabama, and I don't think it's going to happen. To me, Alabama, Arkansas, much better. Tennessee's better, even if they're a little inconsistent. I don't see it happening, but I mean, they have the blueprint. If they play extremely good defense, which they haven't done in a while, and hit a few threes,
right.
they're right there in the mix. I don't think it's going to happen.
I'll throw this out to you, and I'll throw it out to John Gasaway as well when he comes on later this week. Is this how you feel? This how you felt the college basketball season would look? Because there was a lot of questions about, you're going to have, we with every league we talked about, how's it going to look, how they're going to get games done, what's going to happen at the end of the season. And the regular season is over. They made it through that. Is this how you thought it would look? Did you think it would look better than this, worse than this? How do you feel about the
just overall how the season
regular
went?
season? Yeah, how it went. Yeah.
I mean, it went about what I expected. I mean, you saw, 5 or 6 dozen teams that had major issues. You've seen records that are weird. You've seen some teams that paused. Some teams didn't. You've seen some weirdness. It's about what I expected.
Right.
I mean,
but it looks like they're about to have a 64-team tournament. So, not a ton of details about what this is going to look like. But I mean, they made it. They made it this far. So,
I mean, again, it's one of those things where you made it. Like you've made it. I mean, you've had major issues, but you've made it. Again, I don't know what the criteria was supposed to be. Like they were always going to make it one way or the other, unless there was just a catastrophe, like some insane epidemic that rocked through all of specifically college basketball. They were going to make it this year. They put that in place. But I mean, we've already seen a conference tournament that's had a game canceled for COVID. We've seen other. So I don't think the story is quite written just yet. But I hope it all works out. I really do. And we've seen some players and teams step up amid COVID drama and really be excellent. And we've seen some others that have struggled for whatever reason. So, like Kentucky. I mean, the all SEC teams came out this morning, and first of all, I'm annoyed because how many players are on a basketball team when you're on the floor?
It's 5-on-5 game. It's
5-on-5, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many players are on the first team all SEC team?
5?
Yeah, it's only 5.
8 is the answer.
Huh?
There are 8 players on the first and second teams.
Okay.
Now, I'm not sure what sport this is. Basically, we're getting close to football here. So I don't know. I mean, are the all NBA teams just going to start being like 11 dudes aside and let's? So that's stupid. You have all SEC first and second team, and there's 16 guys that made it, including Moses Moody, of course. You also see Devontae Shuler, who was John Morant's guy, Scottie Pippen Jr., which that makes you feel old, for sure, at Vandy. Trey Mann, Cameron Thomas, Drew Smith, 2 guys from Alabama, Herbert Jones and John Petty Jr. Nobody from Kentucky, nobody from Tennessee.
That's kind of strange. Yeah, the teams that
Isn't that
probably
crazy?
were ranked higher than
Out
everybody.
of 16 dudes, that's enough for 3 teams, first, second, and third team, and 1 guy left over, even though they only did 2 teams. And none of them. That's wild.
Sad times.
It's hard times, man.
Yeah, it's hard times.
Hard times, Daddy. That's I could if you had bet me that there would ever be a season where Cal at Kentucky would not have somebody on the first or second, the top 16 players in the conference, and not one of them would be from Kentucky.
Yeah, it's wild. And we're talking about a team that has 3-4 first-round picks in most years. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's insane, man. I'm really, really shocked.
Scott Oates is coach of the year, right?
Nate Oates.
Nate Oates?
You know why I said Scott Oates? Because I'm literally looking at his comments on the screen right now.
Scotty Oates may be coach of the year. I mean,
Scotty Oates.
He's a great. He's a great.
Hey,
he's a great guy.
Nate Oates ain't never helped you change the tire on the side of the road. But yeah, so Nate Oates probably 100% wins, right? He has to, right?
I don't know. Eric Musselman. Eric Musselman's been fantastic. Yeah. Musselman really at the end here is it's got to be one. It's one of those two guys for sure. I guess it's probably still Nate Oates, but both those guys have been spectacular. And Arkansas, man, they are hitting the ground running. They have gotten hot at the exact right time. They are extremely good, and both those teams, Alabama and Arkansas, could absolutely win a national championship. And you could make the case that Alabama or Arkansas, whoever wins the SEC, could end up being, and especially Alabama, a number one seed in the tournament because of the damage that you're going to see within the Big 12 and the Big 10 tournaments. You got Michigan and Illinois, Iowa, all right there in the mix, fighting amongst themselves. Ohio State, they're going to be some guys, teams beating each other up in the Big 10. They're going to have 9 or 10 teams that make the tournament. Same thing with the Big 12. And so, if that happens, Bama could kind of slide into the mix there as a number one seed. And I don't think Houston could get there. But assuming Houston wins, I think they're a lock at number 2.
I think with the empty arenas and some teams that play short seasons, COVID always could play a factor in things like this. I just think this is going to be a wild tournament. Like, we have no clue who can come out of this thing as a national champion. Like, I think this is as big as any other year, the year where if you get hot for 3 weekends in a row, you're the national champion. Like, I think that this year you're just gonna see a lot of wild stuff, man. Like, I think it's just gonna be just a hit randomizer button Final Four, like, for sure. Like, I think we're gonna see a lot of things in this tournament we've never seen before. And I know it's kind of cliche to say in during the pandemic and this COVID era we live in, but man, I think we're gonna see some wild stuff. Like, I'm kind of expecting to see a lot. So
I totally agree with that. I think we've already seen that. I mean, we've already seen that. Road games in all sports are they don't mean anything really anymore. I mean, the travel aside, there's no intimidation from the fans, atmosphere, and all that stuff.
Yeah, when Memphis played Houston, that didn't look like that wasn't a road game.
No, it isn't. And so you're going to a neutral site, but again, it's going to be the same thing that we've seen. It could be you're all in the same city, and it's just going to be a whole thing. I don't know. I'm with you. I think it'll be a lot could happen here. Mm-hmm. But I mean, that's just true of, like I said, all sport. Like the craziest thing, as a soccer fan, I watch Liverpool. They have one of the best home field advantages in soccer. Their stadium is called Anfield. They have a hugely well-known fan base. They are the defending Premier League champions, all that stuff, and they're super loud, super crazy, all that stuff. And they've lost 6 straight games at home. That hasn't happened like ever. They've lost 6 straight at home because there's no home atmosphere. Like there is no home. It's just you're just playing in a stadium. All these stadiums, all these buildings, and all that stuff. All this has done is highlight what really home field advantage and home court advantage is all about. Fans, period. And fans being there makes so much of a difference. And fans not being there, it takes so much out of sports. Sports is about the fans. Sports is about fan involvement. Sports is about fan passion. Sports is about the fans caring about it. It is not a made-for-TV event. It shouldn't be. It can't be. It can't just be that because that's not what it's about. You need the people there to be part of the action. At the bubble, it wasn't the same. In these arenas, it's not the same. You can watch the action. It's fun to watch, whatever. But even the players will tell you it just doesn't have that same oomph. They are performers, and they like to perform for people. You put on a play, you put on a show, you put on a concert, and you do it in front of a handful of people. It's not going to be the same as doing it in front of 20,000. It's just not.
And players, they get up for games that are national games. That kind of stuff matters to them. But the college guys, they don't care about that. They care about who's right there in the audience more so than.
Well, I mean, I would say the pro guys care too. The pro guys need that energy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, these
Yeah, no,
guys
I'm
have talked
just
a lot
saying,
about how the energy just isn't like without fans. They just don't.
It ain't the same. Yeah.
It's just not the same. Like, I mean, it's not saying you're not trying your best and all that stuff, but it's just not. It's not a performance.
Right.
It's not the same deal.
And I'm not doing the asterisk talk, because I think just like in the NBA, I think that winning in this environment might be harder, man. You know what I mean? Because I think that avoiding COVID-19 and properly quarantining and having a team that wasn't affected by COVID, I think those things are part of being a championship team. You know what I mean? That's you doing what you have to do to win. And I don't want to hear any asterisk about, well, you know, I don't want to hear any of that. Like, these guys are going out, they're playing basketball. Like in the NBA, people try to do the same thing with the Lakers and saying that whatever, the Mickey Mouse ring and all those type of things. I think that the sacrifices these guys had to make that season happen, and then to turn around and do it again like they're doing now, it's commendable. And I'm glad to see that these guys have gotten through it. Like you alluded to earlier, it's not really much to celebrate because, you know, they were going to force it to make it happen no matter how it ended up pulling it back into the station. But just, you know, salute to these guys who were going out there. And this isn't an easy thing to do. And like you said, they're playing in empty arenas. They had an added element of avoiding COVID-19 this entire time. And, you know, I'm just glad to see it happen. And I think the tournament is going to be crazy wild, and I'm here for all of it.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be it's going to be fun, and I'm just glad it's going to happen. I mean, that's the thing. We've been through a lot. Yeah, I think we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, I want folks to get vaccinated as quickly as they can. I think it's vital that we do so. I know I was talking about the comments LeBron made, and I was disappointed because I really want folks to get vaccinated. The more we can all get vaccinated, the quicker we can get to whatever the next phase is going to be moving forward. If we have little pockets of unvaccinated stuff, then it doesn't work. It doesn't work the same. You got to go ahead and do it. There's tremendous optimism around these vaccines, and with the new CDC guidelines announced yesterday that you can be around even unvaccinated people. If you're fully vaccinated, you can be. They say it's fine to be around an unvaccinated person from one household with no mask, no problem. In terms of spreading it and all that stuff, they don't want to make it any larger than that because they don't want to they want to kind of ramp up the contact and not just everyone go buck wild and go crazy. But I think even the fact that they're saying that and they're telling you that it makes a huge difference in the things that you can do, I think that's going to motivate people to get, because I hope by next college football season we're back to I don't know about full stadiums, but maybe. I mean, certainly it's going to look a lot closer to what we're used to than this past year.
So you think college football starts it?
Yeah, I think there's a real good chance.
College football starts in when? August?
Yeah, the beginning of first week of September, into August.
I can see that.
I think by then we will have had by the end of May, basically anyone who wants a vaccine will be able to get it. So we're just a few months away from it being pretty widely available. And the efficacy of these things has been fantastic so far. So once that happens, and once you get into a setting, I think we're pretty much like, in flu territory at that point, where it's like, yeah, there's a risk you could get flu when you go out, and people do die from flu, and you need to be cautious and get your flu shot and all that stuff. But if
you're choosing not to use the
but if you get the flu, typically it's like not that big of a deal. Like it sucks and you're sick for maybe a week or so. And you don't feel great, but you're not. It's not life-threatening for most people. I think that's probably true of COVID. Even if you get it while you're vaccinated, it's a much less severe case in general. So
that's what I've been wanting to ask.
I think if all that happens, if all that's the way it is, then I think college football you're back to pretty close to
people
normal.
In your face. I meant to ask you this a while ago. I might have already asked you this, man. I feel like I'm
sharing spit everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, no.
Passing beers around, but
swapping
for apples at halftime. Why not? Just
that's
get all.
Right. That's right.
Get all those things.
Time to play lick the floor. Let's go.
Lick my palm. Lick the palm of my hand and high five.
That's right. It's not Blood Brothers. Let's go.
You
COVID
got it.
brothers. But no. Here's my thing. As someone that's fully vaccinated, didn't take much convincing. I had to do a ton of research. I read a few key things. Okay, yeah, sign me up for this. But I'll ask this in hindsight. I think about this all the time. I don't know. I've never thought to look this up. I'm asking you because you're our in-house COVID expert, so to speak.
That's right.
The COVID-19 vaccine, right, protects from COVID-19. COVID-19 is a one of many coronaviruses. Like, does this protect you from like the common cold?
No.
Okay.
No. It's specific to this particular.
Because I was like, I may never get sick again.
No, it is a corona. Yeah, as you say, the COVID-19. Coronavirus is any of the viruses, including common cold, that have those corona, that little spike protein that, and they look like a crown. That's why the corona is the word for crown, Latin. So that's why they call it a coronavirus. No, this just replicates the ones that we got, and the ones most people are getting, the Moderna and the Pfizer, replicate the spike protein, one of those spike proteins that digs in and busts into the cell to replicate with the virus. It basically teaches the body to create that spike protein on its own so it can fight it. You don't actually get the Johnson & Johnson, you actually get the denatured version of COVID. You get the severely weakened version of COVID injected.
No, I'm good. I knew it was something with the baby powder people.
Into you on Johnson & Johnson, but Johnson & Johnson's also it's more
one dose.
It's one dose and it's temperature stable. So we heard Mayor Mike talking about that yesterday.
I need mine to be sitting on ice. I don't need one that's just been sitting on the counter.
The ones now have to be like super chilled, not just in a freezer, but in a blast chiller mega freezer, well below zero. And then they're only good for like 12 hours after you take them out of the freezer, or else we've seen those stories about the vaccines being wasted and all that. That's the reason why. The Johnson & Johnson's much more stable.
Mine did feel super cool as it penetrated through my veins.
There you go. You want it straight out of the freeze.
Yep.
You just frozen. Basically, it's like a.
I said, can y'all put mine in a cup of ice?
I had mine as a margarita. I had mine as a margarita, just like
shake it up a little bit.
Shake and not stir.
Yeah, a little menthol to that. Kind of wake my cells up.
Well, so that's the thing there, and so is it like is it gonna like change immediately? I mean, it's gonna take time, but like I mean, within a few months, if we get widespread adoption of this, and we're getting there, then it really will. Like it's a huge thing. I think people have downplayed the vaccines because they're worried about this, that, and the other, and there's just a lot of concern. But all the data is really, really strong on it. I mean, like these have been highly researched, highly tested. This methodology has been in existence long before COVID, and it's only now being used at this scale because it has to be. But it's been around for a while, so I think people that are nervous that don't. That's what I'm
nervous about COVID.
Yeah, exactly. You want to be more nervous about that.
I ain't worried about none of this
than anything else. All right, when we come back, we'll talk about the Grizzlies. And are you nervous about them? And are you nervous about the injury report that's coming out? And are you nervous about a trade possibility? As we are now just this is when trade season really ramps up. Now that we're out of the All-Star break and into the second half of the season, and just a couple weeks away from the trade deadline. Will we see some trades? We'll talk about it when we continue here. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1.
Spend your lunch with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 Middays.
Lunchy munchy.
Weekdays from 10 till 1 on Sports 56, 98.5, and 96.1.
Taqueria Express number 6 has a new location, 6290 Winchester Road. Taqueria Express has tacos of all kinds, including chicken and sirloin, beef fajitas, shrimp fajitas, enchiladas with homemade tortillas, even chicken wings. And my favorite is the mango sauce, which goes great with a nice cold beer. You can dine in and take advantage of the full bar or get your order to go. Call ahead, 901-800-2737 to pick up or use the drive-thru. Ask how you can win a 2021 Nissan Versa. Taqueria Express.
Hey, I heard that you just got a new car.
Yes, I sure did, and I could not believe how simple it was.
Really? Tell me what happened.
I bought my car at Cars Inc. They are family owned, and the choices of cars were the best I've ever seen. They even said they could price match with anyone and help me with whatever financing I needed.
Wow, it does sound like they know what they are doing.
Their family has been in the car business for over 30 years, and they're excited about being in Memphis.
Where are they?
5095 Cummington Way, and their phone number is 901-623-7180.
Mid-South Hobbies is passionate about your hobby. They have your favorite model airplanes, boats, race cars, and trains to build with brands you know like Traxxas, Lionel, and LGB. Mid-South Hobbies has all the accessories to make them complete and thousands of paint colors to make them shine. You can reach the sky with rockets and kites or reach deep into your imagination with action figures, comic book superheroes, and fantasy quest games. Get passionate about your hobby at Mid-South Hobbies, 4862 Summer Avenue.
Listen Sundays at 11 a.m. to join Idlewild Presbyterian Church for worship. Idlewild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
If you're going on vacation, making a college campus visit, or if business takes you out of town, there's just no better place to board your dog than Barks and Recreation, 965 Reddick Cove between Bud Davis Cadillac and the Blue Plate Cafe in East Memphis. Boarding, daycare, grooming, we have the best of everything at Barks. Indoor-outdoor kennels so your family member can go in and out as they please. Indoor and outdoor play areas. 4 walks a day, group play, and individual attention from the best staff in the Mid-South, which includes an overnight staff to ensure the safety and comfort of your pet 24 hours a day. All reasons to choose Barks and Recreation above all other boarding and daycare facilities. BarksDaycare.com or 509-0909. Check us out and make your reservations now at BarksDaycare.com. If your dog could speak, he'd say Barks.
Looking for a great place to deposit your money? Try First Bank. Competitive CD rates, a money market that moves with Wall Street prime and interest-bearing checking account options. Not to mention their friendly bankers who make decisions locally. To find out more, stop by one of First Bank's 3 local branches, 6482 Poplar Avenue just east of International Paper, 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase, and 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or visit firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
I've wasted all my tears, wasted all those years. Nothing had the chance to be good. Nothing ever could, yeah. I'll keep holding.
You know who that is?
Yep.
Who is it?
I don't know.
You said you knew.
I know, but I don't know. I don't know his name. I know what it is.
This is Simply Red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know about that. So named because the lead singer is got extremely red hair.
Yeah. Reddish dude.
Very, very red. It's named after, of course, Dewan Irwin, a.k.a. Red Irwin. A lot of people don't know that's where that came from. Hour number 3 continues here on the program. Of course, coming up next, it will be middays with Greg and Eli, except for one small thing. There's no Greg today. So middays with Eli and Eli today.
Underlay.
Eli.
Uh-oh.
Eli. Uh-oh. What happened to Greg?
What's happening now?
I like that. That should be their theme song.
Yeah, really though. Eli, uh-oh.
Eli, uh-oh.
Oh, no, Greg ain't going for that.
No. Greg can't go for that. Oh, no can do. All right, so the...
I'll do anything.
For Eli Savoy. Greg can't go for that. All right, so silliness, absolute silliness. Grizzlies back in action tomorrow. They are 1.5-point favorite against the Washington Wizards in FedEx Forum, and the Grizzlies will be back practicing later on today. After they have to go kind of a late practice because of all the testing and stuff. They have to get their testing and wait for the results to get in before they can get out there and actually give it a go. So you think at the end of the day that we're not going to see anything major on this injury report? You don't think there'll be a questionable Jaren Jackson Jr.?
And it comes out today, like about 4:00?
Yeah, usually around that neighborhood, something in the afternoon.
Yeah, I think we're probably a week or so away. What time is the Zoom call? We'll probably know before the
7:30.
Oh no, there's no.
It's a late. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did say that. Yeah. No. Well.
Yeah. It's a late situation. Right there. So now, as far as the season goes, we mentioned once the second half of the season begins, trade talks are going to heat up. There's no doubt about that. And for the Grizzlies, do you expect a fair bit of action? What do you expect to see trade wise from this team? Bearing in mind, again, they're 16-16. They're right there in the mix for the playoffs. They've got they're continuing with the play-in situation. So if you get to the 10th seed, you are a playoff team, or at least a play-in team at this point. They have 40 games left on the schedule. 40 games in 68 days. Including some brutal stretches, 7 straight on the road to end the month of April. They will play 11 road games. 11 of 15 games will be on the road. So all that's going to be brutal. Do you think you'll see the team trade? Do you think they'll see them kind of play up the idea of maybe I'm not going to say tank, but maybe not necessarily pushing as hard as they possibly can for playoff glory? What do you think happens?
There are a couple scenarios that I'm kind of looking at as far as the Grizzlies are concerned and trades. I can see a situation where they could possibly want to be sellers at the trade deadline, and I think that includes trading guys in an effort to acquire more assets for draft night to possibly move up in the draft. I could definitely see a scenario like that. Well, we have a glutton of talent, but they're all pretty much in the same range of guys. And there's going to be you're already seeing them sitting out guys that may or may not be particularly healthy just because you're going to have 12 guys that are in their rotation once Jaren returns. I think it's 12, yeah. 12 guys to be in a rotation. Most good teams play 8 to 9. So, you've got a ton of guys. So they may do some things to consolidate the roster in an effort to acquire more pick draft capital to possibly move up in this year's draft. I can see something like that. I think the chances of that happening are probably 10 to 15%. I think that the wise thing for the Grizzlies to do is to make their draft pick this year, hold on to their assets, and then start next year consolidating the roster and trying to do some 2-for-1s or do whatever you're doing to try to solidify certain positions going forward to become a team that's actually a contender. Everyone's talking about Zach's favorite player to talk about in trades, which is Gorgie Jing. And I put out a tweet yesterday, kind of, I'm not going to say cryptic, but I don't like to attach names to stuff because then people say, the same said that the Grizzlies about to trade so-and-so. You know how that goes. We talked about that as well.
Now you are the king of the I'm gonna make it just sort of cryptic enough to where if it happens I'm gonna get credit for it, but then I'm gonna also not have to be on the hook.
With me being a radio host, if I say things, people say, Sane knows people, and then they know my past. They know I've known things in the past. So if I say things, people are gonna kind of take it as I don't care about people coming back and saying I don't know what I was talking about because hey, I know what I'm talking about 9 times out of 10. So I don't care about any of it, but I just don't want to throw something out and people are saying that I don't want to look up and it's trending or it's like on NBAanalyses.net or so. You know what I mean? I don't want to say something like that and then people are saying that, quoting me as saying that the Grizzlies are in talks with. No, like that never happened. But something that I see as a possible there are two things as far as Gorgie is concerned that I think are probable and I think are not going to happen. A lot of people are assuming the Grizzlies are going to trade Gorgie's $18 million deal and trade him for another player of around the same contract. And I don't think that's going to happen because in order for that to happen, there's going to be a guy that a team that has years and that a team might be disgruntled with, and they're trying to make that contract disappear. 9 times out of 10, that's what that's going to look like. I don't think the Grizzlies are interested in taking on a contract that big for multiple years at all, or any combination of players that adds up to that amount of money. So I think the ideal situation for a Gorgie Dieng trade will be a team that, one, has roster space to absorb Gorgie's contract without sending out equal money, and a team that could be somewhat a contender or trying to solidify themselves as a contender or make a roster that's more set for the playoffs, which means adding vets. And the team that I've identified as being that team is a team like the New York Knicks. The Knicks have salary cap room to absorb Gorgie's contract and send out a much smaller contract back to the Grizzlies. A lot of people ask me, well, who are you thinking about coming back? And they're naming bigger names and all these type of things. And there are two guys I think that could be involved in a trade like this. One I think it favors more than the other. Those two guys are Frank Ntilikina and Kevin Knox.
Yeah.
I think Ntilikina is a bigger chance than Knox. I know that the Grizzlies did have draft interest in Knox, and I know that they had even more draft interest in Ntilikina. And I think in a trade like that, I think that would be the perfect kind of trade for the Grizzlies because you get rid of Gorgie, you're probably going to have to send financial compensation to the Knicks. Not particularly because the Knicks might use him. I don't know. I don't really know how that works. But you send a guy to the Knicks, who are not only the Knicks, but also coached by Tom Thibodeau, who was the coach when Gorgie had his best years when he was in Minnesota. I want to say that Gorgie got his payday under Tom Thibodeau.
Yes.
He's a guy who will be, playoff ready, who's been there before, more so than the guys they have now. Right now, Mitchell Robinson is out, and Nerlens Noel is playing a ton of minutes. The Knicks have other centers, but Gorgie would be a more solidified center who coach knows in the playoffs what he does and what he can't do. The Grizzlies will get a look at a young, either wing player in Knox or a combo guard in Ntilikina, who's an elite level defender, and I think just needs to get up out of New York. This is all just me spitballing. This isn't based on any intel. No one that's told me this. This is just me and other people I know getting together and just kind of trying to crack the code, so to speak. But I think if Gorgie goes somewhere, it's going to be for a deal like that. I don't think it's going to be like, we trade him and get Andrew Wiggins. What I mean? It's not going to be like, it's not going to be some guy with a contract as big as Gorgie or Harrison Barnes or it's not going to be that type of deal. So I think if they do anything, it'll be something where the Grizzlies get rid of that contract and we get a free look at a guy who, maybe a free agent this summer, and we get a look at him for the rest of the year. I think it'll be something like that, if anything.
Yeah, I don't think. I can't imagine unless something falls into their lap or some team is particularly eager to do something. I can't imagine that there's going to be a whole lot of major activity for the Grizzlies. I think you're right to focus on Gorgie Dieng. I think that's pretty much where you have to focus at this point. Because he's not really in the rotation. He has a contract that's expiring. It's big, but it's expiring. And there are teams certainly with the help of various exceptions or whatever it may be that can take that on and not necessarily send the Grizzlies a ton back. The Grizzlies aren't really interested in I would say forget about not really. The Grizzlies are not at all interested in taking back any kind of long-term money, unless it's like a Justice Winslow situation or something where it's a player that they think is going to be in that player does not exist in any Gorgie Dieng move. You see them take a swing at a young player, as you mentioned, Ntilikina, Knox, something like that. They can take they have been known to do that. They obviously did that with Josh Jackson,
right.
And a reclamation project. I mean,
I'm okay with Frank, man. I like Frank.
Basically, you look at any team that's out there and has a guy that's from that draft and kind of, not doing that well and maybe would be interested in, you kind of reclamation project type thing, then the Grizzlies, I'm sure, are sniffing around, guys like that. I saw some of our guys theorizing about Jarrett Culver as a theoretical play for the front. Somebody like that, it makes sense. Not that Gorgie Jing's going back to Minnesota or anything like that, but it's just those are the types of things that you look for with this front office. They like to try to buy low on guys and turn them into something, and they've been pretty successful in doing so.
Yep.
So
Frank's
I think you'll see
22 years old. I think 6'5", 6'6", 7'1" wingspan.
Yep.
May or may not be Rudy Gay's son. Like, have we looked at those two side by side and that's not noticed that they look exactly alike? Like, nobody's noticed it. He wears 11, Rudy wears 22.
So divisible.
Come on, man.
Yeah, he looks
Frank
to me
Ntilikina
like
looks like Rudy Gay. Like, that's real.
He looks like if Rudy Gay and like Kyle Lowry had a kid or something. Like, so there's a little Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, back
in
when they
his
were that
eyes.
click, back when there was.
Yeah, back in the locker room those days. Maybe got a little wild. I don't know.
Yeah, some kind of wild situation with the third
yeah,
party.
situation.
Jumped off. Yeah.
I don't know how that. What's the
some weird
situation
DNA
there?
splicing thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know how that happens, but Ntilikina is an interesting. I mean, I don't know. It's not a position the Grizzlies really need. Much. They don't need point guard obviously, but as a combo maybe he's not.
You
much
can
of,
throw out some crazy defensive lineups if Frank Ntilikina's on the ball.
Oh, he's a phenomenal. He's a phenomenal.
You can throw out some lineups where
defensive
other
player.
team may never score. Like, for real, you can throw out Ntilikina.
And
Justice
he's
Winslow.
improved his shot. His shot was awful.
Yeah.
Awful for most of his career. He was about a 31% 3-point shooter. And this year, he's 13 of 21, including 6 of his last 6 going into the All-Star break. So he's shooting 62% from 3 in his 9 games so far. Now, that's
probably not real.
The flip side of that is that he's shooting 31% from 2 this year. So that's not real good. Usually those two numbers are kind of flip-flopped with him. But he's just not. I don't know. He doesn't do much inside the arc. He doesn't do much offensively for you. A phenomenal defensive player, in theory. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not averse to giving it a shot. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, why not? Free look at a dude.
If that's what comes up. Cleveland, there's a lot of discussion that people are talking about Larry Nance potentially. We'll talk about some of the other potential trades that are out there as we continue hour number 3, brought to you by friends at Acura of Memphis, 385 and Ridgeway. Find them online at AcuraMemphis.com. They bring you performance, style, luxury. That all new TLX is absolutely fantastic, the best sedan that they've ever created. Check it out. It is Acura of Memphis. More of those trade rumors, and we'll talk about the Grizzlies and the final word on the injury thing when we come back. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
Grind City Brewing Company is taking care of beerness in Memphis. Grind City Brewing is the dream of a father and son duo to create a brand that delivers a high-quality, great-tasting, and easy-drinking craft beer. And they've done it. The brewery sits high above the city elevation in uptown Memphis with 15,000 square feet of beerness, including a 5,000 square foot tap room. Grind City Brewing is committed to all things Memphis, including the Tigers. They have created a malt liquor called Tiger Tail that is the official craft beer of the University of Memphis. Tiger Tail comes in 16-ounce six-packs and is not your typical malt liquor. Tiger Tail is crafted with a bold and smooth flavor, has 7.5% alcohol, and its clean finish makes it incredibly easy drinking. Tiger Tail and Grind City Brewing, taking care of beerness in Memphis.
Frontier Western Store in Olive Branch is ready for spring. Stop by the store today and you'll find a wide assortment of goods. There's tons of Carhartt jeans, shirts, caps, and beanies, as well as this year's brand new spring line. Also, have you checked out Frontier Women's Boutique lately? It's loaded with new styles and colors and current trends of tops, tunics, skirts, and dresses. New arrivals every day. Mini shirts are just $14.99, available small to 3X. While you're there, browse Frontier's world-famous boot showroom. Shop thousands of boots that are in stock, ready to try on and take home. Shop at a local store with excellent local service. With their extensive selection of dress and work boots, you're sure to find your next favorite pair. Frontier receives new styles and restocks daily from all the largest boot makers. Dan Post, Durango, Rocky, Ariat, and many more. Available in men's, women's, or children's. Outfit the entire family. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
Hi, folks. Bob Burkham for Sunrise Buick GMC Truck. Thinking about buying a newer used car or truck? Remember, the selection's better and the savings are bigger at Sunrise. Over 600 new cars and trucks to choose from. Factory rebates up to $8,000. Interest low as 0%. Bad credit, it's okay. At Sunrise, we've got financing for everybody. SunriseMemphis.com. Where saving your money is just a way of doing business. Covington Pike, Wolf Chase, and Collierville. We make it fun to buy a car again. Check out the all-new Sunrise Truck Corral. Huge selection of nothing but trucks. All makes, all models, all prices, all trucks, all the time. Next to Sunrise Wolf Chase.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good. I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Uptown girl, she been living in her uptown world. I bet she never had a backstreet guy. I bet her mother never told her why. I'm gonna try uptown.
As tradition tells us that we have to finish with Billy Joel.
Oh yeah, have to.
On Soft Rock Tuesdays.
My brother that's the musician. My brother that's a musician has called in before.
Greg Sane, the legendary Greg Sane.
Legendary G
former backup of Prince.
Oh yeah, all those things. Prince is homie. Yeah, all those things.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Like real talk. But anyway, he when he got married his first time, a la Billy Joel, he performed "She's Got Away" for his wife as she walked down the aisle, and then he sung "Uptown Girl" at the reception. My brother's a boss, man. Killed that joint. Had a whole band with him behind him. Come on, man.
She's got away.
He smacked that joint too. That was before the days of camera phones. It's on some VCR tape somewhere probably. It's back the day we actually a cameraman actually was like a rare thing to find.
You should have gone. If he'd been, I would have loved to have him at my wedding. We did karaoke at my wedding. I sang a number of different songs.
That's cool, man. That's dope.
At my wedding.
But yeah, my brother's a real showman,
Fun
bro.
times.
Real showman.
Yeah, I love that's what I'm saying. I respect that. That's my karaoke jam is. You got to entertain. It's not just about the song. You got to be able to put a little entertainment on top of that. All right, so 70236 is our new text number. Coming up next, of course, it is Middays with Eli and Eli. No Greg today. The other discussion about trades in the NBA, you're going to see it more and more. Blake Griffin, was bought out. He signed with Brooklyn. We're going to see what other teams do in response to that. You're certainly going to see, I think, a robust buyout market after the trade deadline when all's said and done. And I do hope that the Grizzlies, you mentioned Gorgie Jing, I hope that they do something good for him, whether it's trading him somewhere or getting him. He needs to play. He's too good to be the third guy on this team, just kind of playing mop-up minutes and playing spot minutes when guys get hurt. That's what they need. The Grizzlies don't need him right now, but some other team could. And I hope that at the very least they'll buy him out once the trade deadline's over and let him go and get to somebody's squad, because he could definitely help somebody in the NBA. A lot of discussion about Larry Nance potentially being in the mix trade-wise, along with Andre Drummond from the Cavs. Cavs have said that they're not going to give Drummond away. But I think they may end up having to give him away based on that contract and what he actually does. Would you make a run at Larry Nance? According to Kevin O'Connor, the Celtics, Heat, Mavericks, Pelicans, Sixers, and Wolves have all contacted the Cavs about Larry Nance.
I like him. His buzz is kind of falling off. Because when he got the Laker curve at first when he played for the Lakers, then he went to Cleveland and nobody.
The Kuzma
bump. So that he's kind of falling off, but like he's got some crazy steal numbers. He's got size. He's pretty athletic or whatever. For this team, I don't particularly. No, I think I'm good as far as he goes here, but yeah, but he's good. I mean, he's got value. He'll have trade day value.
Victor Oladipo. The Warriors have some interest in Victor Oladipo. Also, according to
that kind of makes sense for them. That makes sense for them.
It does. It does make a lot of sense. What if you're Boston? What do you do with your situation? They've got a trade exception they could use. Should they try to push everything in and try to save this season? There's a editorial. Or a story, I guess, by Chad Finn in the Boston Globe this morning saying that Danny Ainge should not mortgage the future of the Celtics trying to save the season this year. And, of course, the deadline is coming up in just a little over 2 weeks. He's got Celtics have a $28.5 million player exception that they can use. So
that's crazy.
As part of that, Kemba Walker or the Gordon Hayward situation.
Yeah, you'll hear stories about what they wanted to do at the deadline zone.
That's crazy. They went from they have all the pieces to make a big deal to now let's not mortgage the future. And like
it's
3
weird,
years.
isn't it?
Get that Jaylen Brown package together, Zach Kleiman.
The question is there a deal that would ever push the Celtics up into the tier of the Nets?
No.
Like Vucevic. Like somebody was talking about Nikola Vucevic.
Look at you taking an about face on the Nets because you know they're the kings of the East and probably finna win the whole thing while we talking about it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
That's nothing to do with my prediction about the Nets.
No, it's not going to work. It's just too many guys that need the ball. All these guys across the city, I done heard it all up and down
I told
the
you
radio waves.
I told you they're going to
downplaying the Nets. They're about to run.
You're doing the same thing. We got to go, but you're doing the same thing that you complain about the callers doing. You're just misrepresenting what people say. Ridiculous. All right, we got to get out of here. As I said, coming up next, it's Middays with Eli and Eli.
Oh, yeah.
Got a big show tomorrow, but for now, yeah, we out.